добиваться. Поезжает вперед Кастов. И двойное пробитие.
가스니 한 타이거가 애매.
that one, well, that's an interesting pick from Horsemen, considering it is their pick, because it's not a map that they play all that much, and they're kind of, again, like a one-sided team. They like the defense, they don't like the attack, which is somewhat peculiar for Horsemen, who do tend to favour the attacking side, but we'll have to see how Cliff goes here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Cliff goes here. I mean, again, I suppose B Gaming, look, they're very confident when it does come to the all-out brawls. So if we do see something like that early on, then it really could be anyone's game. The Horsemen, again, like last week, we did see them play pretty well.
Yep.
And coordinate pretty well, which has been one of their weaknesses in the past throughout this season. So, I mean, I really think this Cliff could be a 1-1 as well.
Yeah, I think it's sort of 50-50, hard to call. I'd probably lean towards a 1-1 as well. Like, neither of these teams tend to favour Cliff all that much. It's probably one of the few maps in the pool that doesn't necessarily favour either one team or another, because both of them just don't really play it. It's one map that they tend to avoid, and so obviously it wasn't banned out because only one team gets the ban. And I'm surprised to see it coming out so early here, actually, from Horsemen. So that's interesting. Maybe they have something up their sleeve.
Maybe. It could just be. I mean, I really like Horsemen picking Cliff early because it's a map for them. You know, they're great at getting the mobility going and great at pushing in.
All right. Well, let's find out. We're going to head into our tank lineups, see what's going to happen here on Cliff. Just going to be bat chats pretty much, as you would expect. B Gaming will be picking up the T49. It's probably going to be on Utori, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, look, like the T49, you can't really go wrong with it here on Cliff. And, I mean, Utori, as long as he actually gets one shot off, because we have seen him, in last week's matches, I think almost hit a record for how many times a tank has gone and dealt 0 damage consecutively. So, yeah, definitely something for Utori to look out for. But on the Horseman side, like you said, lots of bat chats. They've got a TVP in there, which is just a similar sort of thing, nice and fast. It's got the auto loader on it, put out a lot of damage very fast, and that TVP is probably going to be public enemy #1 for B Gaming, so I'd expect to see him down probably first.
Yeah, potentially. Well, let's see what Horsemen decide to do on that attacking side. We know they haven't had the best of runs so far on the attack, so, you know, it is a bit of a shaky side here for them on Cliff, but going up against B Gaming, who is not necessarily the strongest of Cliff teams, could definitely mean that they have an opportunity here to break that record. Heading on to Cliff, like you said, it might favour the Horsemen here. They do like those brawls.
Yeah, and, you know, we see Cliff here. Cliff is very much a map which, well, gets you brawling on both sides. So we're probably going to be seeing an early fight breakout in that sort of F5, E5 area as both of these teams head towards the centre.
Well, I mean, to be honest here from Horsemen, this is a very sort of a defensive slow setup. Feluso and Spencer very far back. DHXD very far back as well. So they absolutely don't want to take a fight early on in the piece here. Just looks like they're going to play a lot slower than what we tend to see on Cliff. Maybe just wait for B Gaming to push into them and get an early advantage with some free shots. Maybe these angles that they're setting up, something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Interesting. But they have ended up pushing a little bit, maybe pushing a little bit further in. Nundesu certainly has, and he's paid the price for it. So overall, not a great start here for the Horsemen. Getting one of their bat chats almost immediately exploded by those B Gaming defenders on the hill. And again, he is still a gun in the game, so it's not the end of the road for the Horsemen just yet. Just an early setback, I suppose, as VSAM is going to be trying to get a few more shots on towards Nundesu. But taking a look at where the teams are positioned right now, I definitely would say that B Gaming are very much in an advantageous spot, because most of the B Gaming crew, if they see someone from the Horsemen, then they can all fire on them. So they've got, generally speaking, better lines of fire. And I'm not too sure what the Horsemen's plan is here either, whether it's to push up the kind of E4 rock area, do like a delayed push up there with Nundesu poking up, maybe Spencer, Feluso and Gorilla all coming up as well. I'm not too sure, but yeah, maybe Spencer down the back there. I'm not too sure what's going on with him.
Yeah, Hawks just peeking up towards the lighthouse there. Is going to spot out T4, and he decides he doesn't want to have anything to do with that. Just floating around still, but he doesn't know that Matil is there. So if he does decide to take this fight, he could be really in a dangerous spot. Samo's going to fire another shot off, but won't manage to connect. And again, I mean, Horsemen, they're just playing very safely here, trying to maybe force a bit of a trap here for B Gaming to walk into, down through that 1-2 line. But at the moment, whatever they're trying to do here, Horsemen, it's not working out. They've lost a lot of HP. They have managed to deal a tiny bit back.
Yep.
But you have to say, this one is sort of balanced, or not necessarily balanced. It's more weighted in the favor of B Gaming now.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a touch there, as B Gaming are going to be very happy to hold, but it's looking like Spencer is now on the move, so the Horsemen making a bit of the move, and Utori has actually spotted out Spencer there. Has not tried to go for the shot on towards him. There we go, there's one shot. I don't think it was from the T49 though. Maybe Kian Power getting a bit of a pop shot in there towards Mr. Spencer, but very tight defensive hold here from B Gaming. And look, they're ready up on the hill. They've got no problems if Hawks and Archon push up on towards there, because they've got T4 and Matil up on the hill.
Spencer's pushed very far forward here though for Horsemen, so he's got a fairly decent amount of information. And he's in a good spot here, but if he gets spotted out by any of those B Gaming players, then he's going to be under a bit of pressure. So Spencer could make or break this game for the Horsemen. If he can pull something off from around the back here, and now he's been spotted out by Utori, so Kian Power probably has a shot in towards him. Utori certainly will soon, and there you go, it's Kian Power and Lod actually. Spencer gets absolutely wrecked, and well, I have to say, I think that was more of a break than a make for the Horsemen.
I would agree with you there, Jordan. That was not a great start to their aggressive maneuvers with Spencer going down. I think now they're trying to make something of it, now that at least they've got the information of where Kian Power and Utori are. Tomato JP as well. So they're going to be pushing up a little bit. Gorilla maybe trying to get a few shots on towards Kian Power. But just don't really see that working at the moment.
I do like that spot that Tomato JP is in. Gives you a nice view of the map.
Yeah. As
of yet, hasn't really managed to do a whole lot from that position, but you have to think when Horsemen do eventually pull the trigger, he's going to come up and be one of those important tanks for B Gaming. As of yet, though, Horsemen, I mean, they've essentially used 5 minutes and they've not really gained all that much. The battle lines still are currently really what you would expect them to be at 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's looking like Faluso here. He's going to be trying to mountain goat his way up. Obviously, you know, one of the reasons that Faluso does that, instead of just heading up the well-drawn road down that J5 area, is because that road is a lot more dangerous to head up. You know, he might become spotted by VSAMOV, and he obviously does not want that. So he's just playing it cautiously in that regard, and heading up that little boost there makes it so that he doesn't get spotted and is generally a lot safer. So great little bit of play there by Mr. Faluso. Gorilla is going to be coming up as well, and I'm not too sure whether Gorilla will be using the same boost or just heading up himself. He's in the bat chat, so a little bit of a lower profile than the TVP. Not quite so much the need to worry if you're just darting between one position to another. But it's looking like the Horsemen are going to be making a bit of a move here, and again leaving it fairly late. But it seems like the 2 flag is going to be their focus, and I'd suggest that they're going to be pushing in towards the 2 flag as both Hawks and Matil up on the hill push out themselves and try and clear the hill, because if they can get hill control with that 2 flag, then that could be the key.
Yeah, it could potentially be. It is still weighted in the favour of B Gaming for now, but Horsemen definitely, it's not over for them just yet, and we're going to see Gorilla going for, you know, a bit of a drive up that hill, which is down towards the coast. Don't generally tend to see that either, so Horsemen definitely changing things up a lot here on Cliff. I'm not sure how well it's worked out so far, but T4's going to take a couple of shots. So a bit of damage traded back there for Horsemen. It's not looking so bad, but the key here for them is they've only got 3 minutes and 20 seconds to work with. So whatever they've decided, or whatever they've planned to do here, it's going to have to be executed very quickly and almost to perfection, because there's almost no room for error. Nundesu going down there for the Horsemen. That's not good at all. That's not great to start things off. At least they're going to get some damage back onto Kian Power and Lod, who gets dropped to well below half HP now. So B Gaming have a couple of low tanks, but at least they have the tank advantage.
Yeah, there we go. B Gaming looking very, very strong right now. Till he needs to go down here if Horsemen want any hope. And there we go. Horsemen have actually just responded back with 2.
Yep.
And they were the 2. Oh, no.
That's not good. Hawks, did he just get one shot? Or not necessarily one shot, but
Yeah,
absolutely mega wrecked.
popped.
Mega wrecked, yeah. Was it the T49?
Yep, T49 helped.
Yeah. That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Well, at least for B Gaming. Although for Horsemen, it's not quite.
Ooh.
And Faluso, who is it? Faluso and Gorilla on that 2 flag.
Because without him going down, it would have been doable for the Horsemen, because that would have meant that they had 2 tanks up on the hill for the hill control, and they would have been able to at least slow down any of B Gaming who are pushing in towards the 2 flag. But now they don't have those 2 tanks there. They've only got Archon. He's only on half HP. He can only shoot at 1 tank at a time, you know. So we're seeing the reset, and at this point, getting reset when the sirens are going, we've got under 2 minutes to go. There's just no real way as Faluso takes a big shot.
Yeah, and he's down to 267 HP, so he's a 1 shot for pretty much anyone on that B Gaming lineup now. Just don't think Horsemen are going to be able to pull themselves out of this hole. B Gaming have done a pretty good job of just basically countering what Horsemen tries to do, which was, I guess, Horsemen there were expecting a bit more of a push from B Gaming, and they set up accordingly, but in that situation, B Gaming were content just to sit back and take control of their own side of the map and allow Horsemen to wait down that timer just a little bit too much, and then when the opportunity presented itself, B Gaming got the damage across, got the kills, and Horsemen slowly but surely let that one snowball out of their favor.
Yeah, pretty simple stuff here for B Gaming, and you've got to wonder why the Horsemen did decide to go with this sort of very defensive, very slow-paced strategy when, I mean, B Gaming, they were always going to get into those sort of offensive positions. And early on, obviously, losing Nundes, who's kind of most of his health, didn't help the Horsemen either. And at this point, I'm really not even sure what they're doing, because they're just waiting for B Gaming to come to them. But B Gaming don't need to, because there's only 40 seconds left on the clock, and they're the defenders.
I don't think Tomato JP has moved from that perch for probably the entire game here. Gorilla is going to try and make a move there, but Kyung Kam Power, easy kill for him. And Tomato JP might have spotted out DHXD here. I don't know if he's got an angle there that he can shoot him from, but not that it really matters, to be fair. DHXD doesn't need to die here for B Gaming to finish off this map. And again, Horsemen playing very slowly this time on the attacking side. It worked out quite well for them on Himmelsdorf, and they certainly looked a lot more comfortable on Himmelsdorf. But here on Cliff, they just, you know, didn't really feel like they were doing all that much.
Yeah, no, definitely not as confident on Cliff. And Tomato JP there. Oh, he was going to drive off at the end. That's a bit disappointing. Oh well. Would have been nice to have had enough time to see that. But at the end of the day, the Horsemen will be losing that first one out on Cliff to B Gaming. And I hope for their sake that they have something a little bit better planned for the defensive side, Jordan. I mean, maybe that was a defensive side strategy. It looked like one.
It certainly did. But it is going to allow B Gaming to go 2-1 up. So good start here for B Gaming. But again, like I said, I feel like Cliff is definitely not a sure thing for B Gaming at all. It potentially can go the way of Horsemen on the defensive side. I mean, we know B Gaming aren't that strong on the attack or on Cliff in general, so it's really not a done and dusted just yet. We've still got one more half to go before we can really break down Cliff, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so. So we'll have to wait and see how they do on the next half of Cliff here. But, I mean, we've got to think about what B Gaming did well. So let's take a look at the replays from that one to see the key moments where B Gaming were able to get those advantages on towards the Horsemen. Just like that, Spencer, you know, he got set on fire. He got just completely annihilated. And that really, to be quite honest, that was Spencer's fault. He shouldn't have been out that far when there was every chance that those B Gaming players were going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he wasn't going fast. He was just like peeking around. Can't do that. So he got punished. And the only real kind of nice bit of play that I saw in this one from the Horsemen is I really liked their two tank hill climb.
Yeah.
I really like that because at the end of it, they were able to get themselves up onto the hill. I think it was 2 bat chats. They essentially were able to use those 2 along with those other 2, I think, bat chats that were pushing towards a 2 flag, but were sat on the ground. So it's those two and those two up on the hill. They pushed at the same time, and the B Gaming defenders up there just got absolutely destroyed. So that was a great little synchronous push from the Horsemen. Wasn't enough to win it.
Well, straight after that push, they lost one of the players that was up on the lighthouse there. So that's kind of
exactly.
Like it was. If they brought it back to a 5 versus 5, there was potential for them to be able to potentially win the map. But then, of course, they lost that player, and from there on out, it was advantage B Gaming. Slowly but surely, again, it rolled forward with B Gaming eventually picking up the win. So overall, not a bad sort of start there for B Gaming, but we're gonna have to really see what they do here on the attacking side. I think that's gonna be the real question because, you know, you have to be the one making the moves on the attacking side.
Yeah.
So it's not maybe as easy here for B Gaming on the attack.
Look, I think that B Gaming on the attack here, they're probably just going to go with a stock standard rush. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see
that's kind of what I expected Horsemen
right
to do.
Through the middle. Well, exactly. Spencer was maybe having some issues at the start there. I'm not too sure why he was still super far back in the base early on in that piece, whether that played a part in it, in their decision or not. But who knows? Anyways, I definitely think that B Gaming here, they're not going to be mucking around on the attack. They're going to be going straight for the throat of the Horsemen, and we'll have to, you know, obviously see whether that is what they decide to do or whether, I don't know, we really don't have many other strategies here on Cliff. I mean, it's Cliff, you know, you either go up straight through the middle. Some teams like to take the side road out to the rock on the western side of the map, but really it's one or the other in most cases, particularly on the attack. And that actually that was interesting because that was one of the first times we've seen a very different strategy on the attacking side of Cliff. Yeah. You know, with that sort of delayed late push in towards that western line, and then, you know, those two tanks mounting the hill.
It almost worked.
Yeah, it almost worked. It had potential.
If Spencer maybe hadn't gotten picked off so early on in the piece there, Horsemen, that slow push, that slow hill climb, we saw it work out in a sense. And if they had have just maybe had an extra tank or two or a little bit of extra HP to play with, if they didn't necessarily sacrifice so much early on, then there was something in that sort of a strategy there for the Horsemen on the attack. But when we see B Gaming go on the attack, if we see something like a rush coming out here, do you feel like that maybe is going to favour the Horsemen?
Well, you see, I don't actually think it will favour the Horsemen because I think that if B Gaming rush in, they're going to be the ones completely calm, cool, calling all the shots. So we'll have to wait and see.
All right, let's go ahead and have a look. We're going to be heading into the second half here on Cliff. Our tank lineups are ready. It's going to be bat chats across the board once again. Relatively unsurprising. Yeah, same tank picks, I think, as the last one.
Pretty much.
Oh no, there was 225T APs for Horsemen and a TVP as well. So they have an extra bat chat.
Right. Okay.
251.
I mean, yeah. Excuse me. There's nothing too much to say about these tank picks here, but I mean, overall, that's what you want in Cliff. You know, Cliff, it doesn't really suit itself towards those heavy tanks that we often see on, well, just about every other map in the Wargaming.net League. It's all about mobility on Cliff. You know, getting up the hill, getting up the two little ramps at the start, so you can be the first one to the center of the map. You know, getting up that little ramp on the edge of the kind of E4, F4 area. It's all about getting there first, because if you can get there first, and if you can be the first ones to get the shots off, then you can often be the first ones to take down the enemy tanks. So let's see where they head out to.
Well, B Gaming, it does look like they're going to be going for a very slow sort of a playstyle as well. Utori, Samo, and T4 are all set up quite defensively. So it's a very similar setup to what we saw from Horsemen early on, and strange that we should see this only now in the playoffs.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. I mean, have both these teams sort of come to the sudden realization that this is the most optimal way to play Cliff's attack? I'm not too sure, but it certainly seems like it, doesn't it?
Potentially something new going to be coming out on Cliff in APAC. Maybe in Season 2.
Maybe.
We'll see. But Gorilla's been spotted there. It's going to force Tomato JP just to fall back a little bit. He's not too keen on being that far up, though. He's actually not spotted out just yet, so he's relatively safe for now.
Yeah. Tomato JP going to be pretty happy down there. Just poking up at the hill, trying to get a few spots on towards B Gaming guys, as Gorilla spots him out, actually. Tomato was pretty quick to rotate that turret up towards him. But Gorilla does not want any of it.
Oh, I don't think I'd want to be taking a shot from a T49 if I was in a bat chat.
Probably not. Probably not. That T-49's big 122mm cannon, of course, can rip through Batchat's very, very weak armor. So definitely wouldn't like to be seeing that if you're Mr. Gorilla. But overall, interesting that we haven't had much more action, I suppose, from the B Gaming crew on the attacking side just yet.
Do you think maybe it's because both teams are giving each other quite a lot of respect? Because that could potentially be it, right? It's such a high-pressure situation.
It is a very high-pressure situation. I mean, look, I don't really think it makes too much sense because, like, Horsemen are 6th on the ladder, right? So B Gaming have comfortably beat them in their previous 2 matches. So I don't really see why they should completely change their play style up against them now just because it's the playoffs. Even though it does honestly seem like that's what they're going to be doing. But anyways, Kian Power is going to be trying to do a bit of a hill climb. So again, very similar to what we saw last game with 2 of the attackers' tanks. This time it's going to be Til Matil and Kian Power pushing up the hill there, with the Horsemen are going to be suspecting it now because Spencer's just spotted out Til Matil.
Kian Power, as of yet, still remains unseen, though, to the Horsemen. And yeah, it's interesting how these 2 teams are playing now. I mean, it's not like they haven't played each other in a while either. You know, well, that's not so good from Kian Power. But the match between Horsemen and B Gaming in Phase 2 really only occurred last weekend. So it's not like, you know, they've gone away for a few weeks and thought about things too much. They've only really had 1 week between playing each other last.
Yeah. Interesting. And anyways, Tomato JP with his big 152mm gun is going to be heading up towards the 1 flag right there. And might be in a little bit of danger because DHXD and Faluso are looking down that line. So he's going to get spotted out, and he knows now that some of the Horseman crew are down that line, even though he didn't spot any out himself. Of course, all of these tankers do have all the perks available to them. So that means that they are going to have 6th Sense, which, of course, for any new tankers out there that may not know, 6th Sense lights up a nice big flashing light bulb whenever you get spotted by the enemy tanks. So very useful to have in this level of game where, you know, vision is so crucial. Map control, knowing where the enemy is.
Knowing where the enemy isn't.
Yes.
That's also just as important at times. And that's really what both these teams are doing at the moment. They're not necessarily looking for a fight. They're just poking in and out, trying to find the information, trying to figure out what the defensive setup is or what the offensive setup is. See what information they can gather before they commit to anything. I mean, they have quite a lot of time to play with, 10 minutes the whole time for the round, so they have that buffer where they can sort of poke in and out here. Don't necessarily have to rush in and just take a fight straight off the bat.
It's looking like it. They're not too keen. No real, I suppose, incentive to rush in just yet, but they do have to think about it soon because we only have 5 minutes left on the clock. So the Horsemen right now are going to be just sitting pretty, and it's looking like B Gaming are getting ready for a concerted push here on towards that rock on the western side of the map. So Tomato JP is going to be leading that one in his T49.
Well, he's the only one there now.
Oh,
he's just going to have to fall back, I think. Maybe he's going to try and get a shot onto that 25T on the back chat of Hawks, but no, he won't manage to do that. Hawks is going to fall back a little bit there. So there was a bit of a flurry from B Gaming, but it's very quickly slowed down once again. But they have managed to get a little bit more map control off of it.
Yeah, just a touch. Tomato JP there trying to get a bit of a shot, but not going to be happening on towards Hawks there. As again, this is such a repeat of that last game that we've just seen, Jordan, because even Nandesu, he is sitting where I think it was Tomato JP or potentially...
It was Tomato JP.
Yeah, Tomato JP in the bat chat up there in that A5 area was sitting in that last game. So very much a mirror matchup, except this time B Gaming, they're coming in towards this sort of late stage attack with all of their members, with 7 members here.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing that B Gaming have done a little better than Horsemen did on their attack. At least they're going to be able to take a full fight here and it's going to be equal numbers, but we are going to start to sort of see a bit of a fight breaking out here. Kian Power will be the one that's taking the majority of the damage. B Gaming, that's not a good situation for them. They haven't managed to deal any damage back, and he's alive on 199 HP. We are going to see Samo and Utori making their way forward here, and Archon, he's starting to get shut up a little bit. Spencer up towards the top of the lighthouse as well is under pressure here. So B Gaming across the map are putting a lot of pressure on the Horsemen, and they will be able to find the first kill of this battle. But now the focus is on Samo. He should be going down here, and actually in the end will take down Gorilla before he goes down. So not a bad trade. Favorable here for B Gaming. 2 for 1 at the moment. Utori, though, getting dangerously low. And let's see what Tomato JP can do in this T49. He's making his way forward with his gun sight trained right on Hawks, but he's taking some damage from DHXD there, so he doesn't really know what direction he can look in. He'll have to take a shot eventually, otherwise he's just going to be taken down easily, and in the end, doesn't manage to really do all that much damage. 449, I mean, it's pretty good against DHXD, but in a T49, not exactly what you would have wanted coming out there, and now Tomato JP is going to be taken down by Nundesu. So, at the end of all the excitement, 5 versus 5.
Yeah, there we go. So, again, not the sort of explosive push that we were hoping for there, with only 2 tanks going down on either team's side, but DHXD there getting very low. Nundesu taking out Utori. That's going to put the score in the favour of the Horsemen just a little bit right there. We do see a 900 HP or about 800 HP advantage there to the Horsemen. They're sitting on a total of 4.5 thousand HP up there. And with only 1 minute and 40 seconds left, the timer is ticking down. So at this point, B Gaming don't really have an option to get a time cap off. So a cap win off. So they really need to actually push in towards the Horsemen and try and clean them up. But it's going to be very, very hard because Lod, his gun is dead. Kian Power lost his ammo rack. And T4, he's almost down.
Yeah, exactly. Not an easy situation here for B Gaming to negotiate, and slowly but surely, Horsemen are going to be climbing that ladder, getting the advantages as they need them. And it feels like, again, a very, very similar situation to what happened to Horsemen. You know, they're trying to get something done here on the 2 flag, but really, at this point, B Gaming have just let a little bit too much go. They're not going to be able to take the fight that they need, and there's so much that they could have done early on, but they just let that timer tick down a little bit too much. When they did push in, they lost too much HP.
Yep.
They haven't been able to turn it around, so it looks like the defensive side here is again reign supreme on Cliff.
So it's seeming like it, and it's very interesting because honestly, if these teams just did a stock standard, you know, just push, flat out push down the 5 line, as we do see Horsemen there just cleaning up the remaining members of B Gaming. But if they did just do that push, then, you know, I really feel as though the attacking side has a much better win rate with that sort of a thing. You know, getting in towards the defenders before they can get completely set up, you know, forcing that fight early, putting them under pressure. But instead, what we've just seen there from B Gaming was one of the most slow and deliberate plays and strategies on Cliff, but it didn't work at all. 2
timeouts on Cliff. Both of them went to the full 10 minutes, and the attackers weren't able to get enough done in that timer to really secure a win. So it does feel like to me these 2 teams have changed up their playstyle a little bit here. It honestly does.
It honestly does. That doesn't look like B Gaming to me. Look, we'll see. Maybe.
To be fair, I guess if we ignore Cliff, it's a bit different because Cliff is not necessarily a map that either of these 2 teams are comfortable on.
Yeah, exactly. That is true. We haven't seen them play Cliff much. So on Prokhorovka, I suppose that's when we'll see, you know, if these teams keep on doing these really sort of defensive attacking side strategies, I suppose. And I mean, there was really nothing much to it. That it's like when you're playing that sort of defensive strategy like B Gaming did there on Cliff, there was no real opportunity for them. There was never going to be an opportunity for them because the defenders, the Horsemen, were always going to be sitting in their positions. You know, there was no reason for them to move. The Horsemen were completely comfortable. The Horsemen will have, you know, played those positions in practice matches time and time again. So I'm not too sure why B Gaming thought that, you know, trying to poke holes in it would really work.
Well, I'm not so sure either, but why don't we have a look at the replays and maybe that will unravel the mystery a little bit for us here.
Okay, so first kills, right? This is always important. And early on, we see Utori ammoed, Kian Power ammoed, that wasn't great. So very...
And Lod's Gunner's dead.
Yeah, Lod's Gunner's dead. So some really early disadvantages there to the B Gaming crew. And overall, the Horsemen just able to get some good shots across. I mean, obviously there's always a small part of that which is like, it's lucky to have, you know, a nice ammo shot, you know, from across the map. But at the end of the day, the Horsemen were shooting very well as well. They called their targets about as well as they could, I suppose. So it was, again, just a reverse of what we saw in the first half there on Cliff.
Exactly, and heading over to Prokhorovka, well, maybe this is perhaps where the Horsemen become unstuck a little bit, because it's not really a great map for the Horsemen, and it is B Gaming's pick as well. So coming into this one, B Gaming have had a very good run on Prokhorovka, not very good, but a decent run on Prokhorovka throughout the regular season, and I think they're probably coming into this one feeling confident. They'll be happy they've got it off in the picks here, especially this early. So maybe this might be where we see a 2-0 come out for B Gaming.
You reckon?
Could happen.
I don't know. I reckon... I suppose it depends. I think if B Gaming keep on playing like they just played there on Cliff and play that super defensive attacking side, then I think on Prokhorovka here it's going to be very tricky for them to win, because that's not B Gaming. That style of play for B Gaming, that hasn't put them third place or, you know, competing with second place on the ladder in our season. You know, they're sort of semi-aggressive but confident.
Reserved aggression, maybe.
Reserved aggression, exactly, style of play. That's what's won them games this season. So when we see them stepping back and doing what we just saw there, which was very, you know, very sort of passive. It was like their kind of first match, you know, in the season, where they just don't want to make a mistake on camera. They're almost camera shy, you know, like, I don't know. I just hope they change before Prokhorovka here.
No, I don't think they're going to be coming into that one. I think that I'm pretty much writing that off as not being particularly comfortable on Cliff, really.
Yep, okay.
I think coming into Prokhorovka
I hope so.
Both these teams are going to have a bit more of a better idea of what they want to do. Both teams have played Prokhorovka quite a lot more than they've played Cliff throughout the regular season, and B Gaming certainly have a bit of a better record on it. Horsemen, not so much. They're not so great on Prokhorovka, but at least they'll have that experience where they're going to be able to draw upon and figure out what they want to do here. So I feel like if B Gaming don't 2-0 this one, they're probably going to be a little disappointed, because they know going into this one that Horsemen, you know, aren't particularly comfortable on Prokhorovka. If they let it go to a 1-1 and we come into the match after that at a 3-3, that's where B Gaming, you know, they'll feel like, well, we probably should have got a little bit more out of there on Prokhorovka.
Yeah, I think so. So, well, we'll have to wait and see whether that will be the case here, Jordan. But look, overall, on Prokhorovka, we're expecting some slightly different tanks as well. Probably going to be throwing in a few kind of heavier tanks, 113s maybe.
Maybe. Let's go ahead and find out. Tank lineup's ready for Prokhorovka. First half of it, it's going to be Horsemen on the attack, and, well, no heavy tanks. Oh, there is one for them, 113. And a T110E5 and 113 there for B Gaming. So, there you go.
Yeah, okay. I don't mind those tank lineups there. The T110E5 is, again, quite a defensive tank. I mean, obviously it is a heavy tank. You know, you want to be getting in towards those hull down positions with that T110E5 and just showing the turret over any hills or ridges, if you will, and poking that one over. But overall, again, both teams going with some quite mobile lineups. The 113 is one of the most mobile heavy tanks around. It plays a lot like a medium anyway. So here we are on Prokhorovka. I think we do see often teams just heading out towards that 2 flag cap. Probably going to be seeing a pretty standard defensive play here from the B Gaming crew. Setting up in and around that 2 flag area. Maybe two tankers down towards the rail tracks. Sitting up the back where Lod is at the moment. But no, it's looking like instead B Gaming, they're going to be going for a 1 to 2 flag defense, 1 to 2 line defense. Yeah,
on paper, Horsemen, really, this is probably one of their weakest maps here on Prokhorovka. So we'll see what they can pull out for us on the attacking side. If they can get off to a good start, then more power to them. But I don't necessarily have my fingers crossed. They're going to be making their way relatively quickly up towards that 2 flag. They've chosen correctly. B Gaming have got really not all that much defense over towards the 2 flag here. So Horsemen, if they can get on that flag, put a bit of pressure on, you know, that's when B Gaming is going to have to start to respond.
And I like this from the Horsemen. They're playing aggressive. You know, this is the sort of Horseman that wins games. You know, getting onto the flag early on, it's a minute in, we're already seeing Archon on towards that flag. So, you know, shows his line. Lod there has just been chunked quite a bit, hasn't managed to get anything else in return, which is interesting because he did actually fire all of his shells. But, you know, and just like that, the Horsemen, they made a play, and suddenly they have control of the eastern half of the map. They have control of the right side of that railway there and the 2 flags. So now they can put a tank on it and start to exert a little bit more pressure on towards B Gaming. It's now up to them to respond.
Oh, well, B Gaming, at least for now, Horsemen haven't gotten onto the flag. So B Gaming, they're not under pressure by that timer just yet. But there's, of course, heaps of time left here for Horsemen to play around with. So they're just setting up their defensive positions here, trying to get a bit of a read on what B Gaming are holding off with on towards their side of the map. And now we start to see that cap being begun by Spencer. We do have 2 tanks up towards the hill there from Horsemen. I like that. Sometimes we only see one tank up on that hill, and oftentimes that tank does get taken out, which can lead to a bit of a wipe coming out from the defensive side when they get control of that area. But 2 tanks up there from Horsemen, it'll make it so much more difficult for one tank to go down. And now B Gaming, they're going to have to fight their way over the track. So many times we see them trying to do this. Are they going to be successful? I like the picks that they've got for this setup. A T125, yep, STB1, perfect for trying to fight back over those tracks.
No, great for that, of course. The STB1 as well. Excellent gun depression. Nice little turret on that one. But the issue is the Horsemen are holding some very, very strong positions right now. I would really honestly like to see VSamov there for B Gaming. I would love to see him rotate down and maybe get a bit of a flank going on down that kind of J7 area, down the bottom entrance.
Well, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? Because he could essentially catch Spencer off guard here. Spencer, on his own, if he gets caught off guard, that might be the go signal for B Gaming. But as of yet, Spencer's just happily trundling along there down towards the southern end of the map, getting a lot of information. And essentially now Horsemen know that they're not going to be attacked from that part of the map. They can play all their tanks up towards the 2 flag.
Yeah, great scouting there by Mr. Spencer. And, well, gives them that extra well-needed information. So, only issue here is that the Horsemen, they would really... I think it would be nice for them to put a tank on the cap. I'm not too sure if Spencer is planning to return to get himself back on towards that cap, but...
if he keeps going, he's going to be caught off guard by Samo. And he doesn't win a fight against a Batchat 25 TAP in an RU251.
Not in any world.
So I think he stopped just in time here, actually. Is he going to continue to move forward? I hope not, but it looks like he will. And this might be what B Gaming needs to get back into this one. They're having trouble getting back over those tracks, but if Samo can clean up Spencer, then potentially there's something for it. But it looks like Samo getting a little bit scared off for the moment by Spencer. Maybe expecting that Spencer might have some backup coming in, but I think now he's realized that that's not going to be the case, and he needs to hit these last 2 shots. It looks like Samo's going to be trying to chase him down. In the end, both have gone unspotted.
Yes, and in the meantime there, T4 actually just losing out a bit of a trade there. Has to be a little bit careful in that T110E5 because he's just been chunked down.
Yeah. He's continuing to be chunked down, and he really needs some backup here from someone on B Gaming. There needs to be some damage to go back across to the Horsemen, and it looks like that's actually the go signal almost for B Gaming. They've sent a few of those Batchats up towards the top of the tracks, dealt quite a lot of damage back across to the Horsemen, and Utori in the 113 coming through the middle track opening. Now the pressure is coming onto the Horsemen. Tiltimatil will take down Archon, and a tank advantage for B Gaming now. 4 minutes, 52 seconds left on the clock, but Horsemen, they need to find something here. They can't rely on that cap timer now that they've got the tank disadvantage. B Gaming will be quite content just to wait this one out, go over when they need to with that tank advantage, and really take out Horsemen. Look at the HP swing that has just come out. Even though the T110E5 there from B Gaming was taken down so low, B Gaming have just peaked this one over the tracks perfectly, and they've really taken to the Horsemen.
Yeah, and in the meantime there we saw Spencer. He just went down to VSamov in that Batchat AP. I'm not too sure why Spencer picked that fight, because he actually pushed it. You know, he took the fight, he forced the fight on towards Samo, and that was never going to work in a million years, particularly over a fight where Samo is even able to reload.
I mean, I guess you can argue he's a tier 8 tank keeping a tier 9 tank away from the main battle, but it really it was never going to be enough, considering B Gaming were winning that fight anyway. So, bit of a questionable decision there from the Horsemen, but it's led them to this position where they have 4 extremely low HP tanks. And Fuluso, really the only one that has any HP to speak of.
Yeah, Colin's ammo rack is damaged as well, so really not looking too good here for the Horsemen. But, I mean, I suppose if they can take out maybe Tomato JP, he's only 1 shot, and then T4 in that T110E5, then there's just squishy tanks left on the B Gaming lineup. But with only 2.3k HP in their entire pool, I just don't see a way that the Horsemen are going to be coming back in towards this. And B Gaming, they're perfectly happy playing this one nice and safe, nice and cautious.
Count Power's in exactly the situation that he wants to be in. Peeking up and down over that ridge, using that gun depression of the STB-1 to get free shots into his opponents. And Horsemen now with only 3 minutes to play with, as you say, with less than 2,000 HP to play with, the situation is becoming very dire for them.
Yes, very dire indeed. And again, interesting that B Gaming here, they're actually not forcing the point. They could have, I feel, gone in and tried to close out the Horsemen. But obviously they don't have exactly the same information available to us up here in our little God camera. They don't know exactly how much HP the Horsemen are on. They don't know, you know, if they've ammo racked someone or if they've, you know, damaged some tracks or a radio. So overall, B Gaming just playing how they need to. They don't need to go over. They just need to, well, win out this time. And oh, what was that? That was a big shot on towards Utori. Big couple of shots.
It might have been the 113 and the 140.
Yeah.
Getting a shot into him. But it's not going to be enough. I mean, it is a bit of a damaged swing, but really, to be fair, Horsemen, they just have nothing to play with here. Everyone's a 1 shot apart from Fuluso.
Yeah. They need another one like that, and they actually need to take out tanks, because at this rate, there is a chance that the Horsemen might end up this battle without having taken out a single B Gaming member. And this is a problem which we have seen the Horsemen face before, is that they haven't primaried their targets correctly, because there's no real way that B Gaming should have that much damage spread out between all of them. You know, you want to focus on one tank and you want to blow it up, because it doesn't matter how low an HP a tank's on, as long as it's on 1 or more, it is still a gun in the field. It can still do damage, and it is still a threat. So
I mean, even if it's not doing damage, it's still a presence. It's a threat that could be there. So definitely need to be taking out those tanks when available, but here for Horsemen, they haven't really been able to do that at all. Fuluso gets dropped down ever lower, and there's just a minute left to go here. There's no situation at all where Horsemen is going to be able to pull off a win. B Gaming look like they're going to be going through with an advantage after the first half of Prokhorovka.
Yeah, there we go. So B Gaming going to be taking this one out, and getting a little bit of an advantage there on Prokhorovka, but again, you know, there's every chance that Horsemen might be able to come back after that one and take out their defensive side, Jordan.
Potential, but I don't know how much, really. I'd have to question it, because they didn't look particularly comfortable there on Prokhorovka. They haven't in the past looked particularly comfortable on Prokhorovka, and I think B Gaming, when they get over onto their own attacking side, they're going to be feeling quite fine about things.
Right.
Especially considering the way that one went.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't look challenged at all.
I'd agree with you. They really didn't, because I mean, they barely lost a tank. You know, it was absolute dominance by B Gaming. Really, there was no point in that one where they looked like they, you know, were struggling with the defense at all. So look, definitely back to the drawing board there for the Horsemen. But again, the attack and defensive sides of Prokhorovka are very different. You know, there is also even the chance here that we might see the Horsemen maybe pick out an artillery piece here on the defense. You know, if we're lucky. I think that'd be interesting to see, and it would suit how they've been playing recently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's particularly off the cards. I don't think we tend to see... How often do we see Horsemen really taking an artillery? Fuluso picks it up occasionally, doesn't he?
Fuluso's a man to lock it in from every now and then.
Well, let's have a look at the replays first before we get too far into our tank discussions. B Gaming, I mean, they didn't even really do that much. Like,
no,
I guess that one push, right, where they lost all that HP on the T110E5 and then followed up with a push of their own. That's when things started to turn around. And I think that's what we just saw there, where there was a Horseman tank actually on their side of the tracks, and that might have been a little bit of a mistake from whoever that was.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that gives a free kill over to B Gaming, essentially.
Yeah. No, exactly. So, B Gaming were able to capitalise on that and use that momentum throughout the rest of the match, as we saw by the end there. And, you know, not losing a single tank in a match is really not what you're looking for at this stage of the competition. I mean, this is the playoffs. You can't just get wiped out like that. That's got to affect your morale as a team as well. You know, I'm sure playing a 10-minute game, you know, these games are starting to add up and up
They
and
are.
up.
I mean, this series so far, we've had 2 that have gone to the full 10 minutes, so that's 20 minutes already. That one almost went to the full 10 minutes, so 30 minutes for 3 games, that's quite a long time to be playing for, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Considering especially the first 2 Himmelsdorf games, they weren't short either, and we're still not even halfway really into this series.
Yeah. So, you know, these guys have got to factor that in, I guess, and, you know, really plan the series, plan their strategies, I suppose, accordingly. Try and, you know, make sure that fatigue doesn't become a factor for them, you know, by the end of this.
And considering one of these 2 teams is going to have to play again later tonight.
Well, exactly. Again, in a best of 13.
Yeah.
And so, and every game counts. You know, this is for a spot in the WGL APAC Season 1 finals for 2016 to 2017.
Yep.
You know, and then our playoffs later tonight are for, you know, who versus EL Gaming. So,
well, for who doesn't versus EL Gaming.
Well, exactly.
The winner doesn't versus EL Gaming.
Yeah, that's a good prize.
I mean, to be fair, going up against Meltdown is not going to be an easy thing for either of these 2 teams. But if you had to choose between EL Gaming or Meltdown, I know what I'd be choosing.
Yep.
And that's not going to be EL Gaming, to be fair. But look, to be honest, I think we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, really. I mean, we're not even at the point of seeing which 2 teams are going to be playing off for that spot. We're still here in the first one, not even halfway through the first series, potentially, if it goes out to the full 13. So, you know what? Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling on. Head into the tank picks for the second half of Prokhorovka. IS-7s for both teams.
Ooh, IS-7s. I like that there for both of these teams. Can't go wrong with a good old IS-7 every now and then on Prokhorovka. It's actually one of my kind of favoured tanks. You know, we don't see it picked up too often overall. But what else have they got? They've got some bat chats on the Horsemen side, grill on the B Gaming side, and I like the grill as well. Obviously, the most accurate gun in the game, the grill, with a 0.2 meters accuracy dispersion per 100 meters. So it's looking like, for their defensive setup, the Horsemen are going to be heading out towards the other side of the map, towards the 2 flag to guard that one out, and can come out with a bit of an early setup there, maybe looking for some early shots on towards any aggressive defenders.
And this sort of a tank lineup here for B Gaming makes me think they're just going to plonk that IS-7 in towards the cap, maybe put the RU-251 in there as well, and have the grill really up on towards that 1 line, making life difficult for anyone that tries to peek over the tracks. It's going to be your stock standard 1 flag push. Of course, it's going to be relatively slow here for B Gaming. They don't want to walk into a stack of Horsemen. They don't know yet where the Horsemen are, but Horsemen, for their own, probably have a pretty good idea of where B Gaming are, because Horsemen have spread out quite a lot across the map. They definitely know that they're not going to be on that eastern side of the map, and as a result, Colin starts to move forward in towards that 1 flag. He's going to make life really difficult now for B Gaming when they try to get onto that 1 flag.
Yeah, there we go. So I like that positioning there from Colin, of course, in that IS-7, that Soviet Tier 10 tank, with a nice, well-angled pike nose. Very, very hard to get through that one from the front. Although, if any of the tanks of B Gaming do end up getting behind that IS-7, then you can punch through it pretty easily. And we do see the other IS-7 here, Utori, going to be heading in towards that flag. So we may be seeing a bit of an IS-7 versus IS-7 off, which could be quite interesting.
Well, I have to say, I think Utori probably has a bit of an advantage in that situation, considering he's got almost his entire team to back him up. Whereas Colin, a lot of his team is on the other side of the tracks, not in a firing position to really hit Utori. But still, we'll have to see what Colin does decide to do. They don't know yet that Colin is in that position, I don't think. I don't think he's been spotted out, but Utori certainly has. They know that it's the IS-7 on the flag, not the RU-251. And we'll see Horsemen start to prepare accordingly.
Yes, there we go. So 85 seconds left on the cap. The pressure is on here. It's starting to build up for the Horsemen. They do need to get a reset. But at the moment, I'm liking B Gaming's defensive setup here. Now that they've got Utori on towards that cap. Kyung Power just kind of overlooking that. So Kyung Power from that position, anyone that comes across the hill, either from where Archon is or from the center where Spencer is, Kyung is going to just be able to snipe them with that grill and just trade off really well early on. But the issue is there's Spencer. He should have been spotted there. And I'm not too sure why he wasn't. I guess the B Gaming guys just weren't close enough to spot that RU251.
He's spotted out now.
There we go.
And Colin's taking a big shot as well. I assume that was probably from the Grill 15. It is going to be Colin to start to make his way forward. They're trying to get some resets onto Utori, and well, a couple of shots bounce off Colin. He also doesn't manage to connect his onto Utori. Now Colin gets a little bit punished. So this is exactly what B Gaming want. They want those Horsemen tanks trying to get the reset on Utori. Every time someone's going to peek their head up over this little mound there, they're going to get some damage across. And slowly but surely they will get the advantages. And Colin's almost got no chance of penetrating the turret of Utori.
Yeah, no, he could load HE potentially, but
yeah.
I mean, that IS-7, it does have the big 122mm gun, of course. Hard to get through the side, or hard to inflict much damage on the sides of the IS-7, of course, with HE or HEAT rounds, because it does have that spaced armor on the sides. So excellent at negating that a little bit. But in the meantime, we do see B Gaming's crew taking a little bit of damage up there. Tomato JP and T4 not having the best of times overall, as it's looking like Gorilla might be trying for a bit of a flank for the Horseman. He's sitting down. I love seeing this IS-7
battle of the dings, essentially.
Battle of the dings, yeah.
Spencer's going to fire one into the back of Utori, which also doesn't manage to do any damage. So now the time is starting to tick down. It's getting into a worrying position here for Horsemen. They're going to need to get a reset sooner or later. Hopefully sooner than 40 seconds. And there you go. Utori does get shot. I think that was probably Spencer who got the reset there. And a bit of a sigh of relief there for Horsemen. The pressure is lifted for now.
Yeah. No, good little bit of play there for the Horsemen. And, I mean, they don't really need to do anything else apart from that at the moment. They just need to keep on getting the resets. And 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. Look, it's enough time just to rely on resets, you know. So B Gaming, they've got to come up with a plan B here, because with that reset just constantly coming in from Spencer, unless they manage to take him out, and that would actually be ideal for B Gaming if they could try and, you know, zone in and take Spencer out.
Well, I think plan B would probably to be put Lod onto that flag as well in the RU251. If he can get over here unspotted, then that's going to put a bit of a spanner in the works for the Horsemen. And I think he's timed it pretty well here. Spencer wasn't peeking over that hill, nor was the IS-7. And Lod is going to manage to get into that flag unspotted. Good. Now he just needs to position himself in a bush. And he should be very difficult to spot here for the Horsemen. Yeah. They're going to be focused on Utori, which is the one that they need to get, to be fair, to start off with. He's the one that's been capping longer, so he'll allow a longer reset to come out. But there you go. That's exactly the trade that B Gaming wanted. Spencer going down. Yeah, he got the reset, but he goes down as a result. And now that is a big spanner in the works for Horsemen. Colin's also under a bit of pressure. Doesn't have a repair kit. He's used it earlier, and he should be mincemeat.
Yeah, but
if they keep tracking him,
that IS-7's armor really doing work there for Colin. So he will still survive, and the Horsemen, they do have all of their tier 10 tanks left on the field here, Jordan, but for how long, I'm not too sure. They need to get a reset within the next 15 seconds. They're grouping up, maybe to try and push on towards Bay Gaming.
Well, it's going to be Colin to get it, and he does manage to do it. Lod takes a huge amount of damage. Lod's actually spotted out as well. I mean, there's still 35 seconds only on that cap timer here, so it doesn't relieve all that much pressure on the Horsemen. They are going to have to continue to peak this one. Kyung Power has also taken a bit of damage there. I think he might have just been blind fired in that Grill 15. But now Utori blocking a little bit for Lod. That'll make life difficult for the Horsemen. 15 seconds left. We're going to have to see another reset coming out here. Colin and Faluso this time will be the ones to do it. Spencer already having had his job done.
Yep. And 6 seconds left. They need to get the reset in very, very quickly. And there we go. It comes in from behind. But at what cost? As Faluso is going to be going down. The rest of the Horsemen, Look, are they just playing for time here, Jordan? They can't, so they're pushing in.
They have to get the resets. Only 10 seconds. Continually having to get resets puts so much pressure on the defensive side here. Finally, they get a very good one across, and they actually do manage to take down Lod in the RU-251. But I feel like the damage is already done here. B Gaming, 6 versus 4. They've managed to take out 3 of the Horsemen tanks without losing all that much for themselves, to be honest. Lod going down, he's only a tier 8 tank. The main takeaway, though, for the Horsemen is that there's only 1:56 left on this clock. So
yeah,
that might be something. If they can play the time here, there might be that. Well, that is their win condition. They have to play the time. They're not going to win a brawl or anything like that. They just need to keep getting these resets and hope that someone can survive long enough to run that timer down, because that's their only way out of this one.
Yep, 100%. That is how they can win it. And we can already see them almost playing for the time right there, because they're moving Archon and Gorilla around and out to the town. So you know, potentially they can retreat back to the hill, or essentially just bail once we get another, you know, one more reset.
Down to Nundesu here. He's going to need to get the job done, get that reset done. He'll actually be able to take down T62A. It was Archon in the end, but Nundesu certainly did the job onto him as well. 17 seconds left on that timer, but Nundesu's in a pretty good spot to get the reset across. Archon as well is going to commit to it and try to get damage across to all of those tanks that are on the cap. But, I mean, it's really not relieving that much pressure. Yes, they get a lot of damage across, but still 30 seconds left. There's a couple of kills actually going the way of the Horsemen.
Good.
And now it's 3 versus 3. It's very good indeed, because now this is a real chance for the Horsemen. B Gaming, I don't know if they've done enough to actually win this. 13 seconds left on the clock.
Down to Hawks needs to get the reset.
He needs to charge right in there. He's only got 10 seconds left on the clock. He's streaming across the map, but I don't know if he's going to get there in time. He might just get in with enough time to get one shot. He'll have to hit this one, and I don't think he's fired it in time.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, okay, so B Gaming, they'll be able to clutch it out. That is that. Wow.
Talk about clutch. Oh my goodness. Hawks, again, that is just one of those situations where if you press W on your keyboard one second faster, 1 second faster, it would have been enough. But no, Hawks just getting in a slight touch to, like, that's going to be devastating for the Horsemen, because if he just got that shot, then
well, he didn't.
He didn't.
I don't know. Did you think that was the correct decision, though, from B Gaming to stay on the flag? Even though they won,
yeah,
it could have gone either way.
Well, it could have gone either way, but the issue was that little brawl that they had on the flag there didn't work at all. No. You know, the Horsemen played that one so well, and I think B Gaming, I mean, obviously by putting yourself onto the flag there on Prokhorovka, on that flag particularly, you are very, very open. So when B Gaming pull all of their tanks on towards the flag, and the Horsemen were able to sort of get in to flank them without really being punished by I didn't see too many grill shots there, anything like that. You know, that really hurt B Gaming.
All right, let's have a look at the replays here. It was certainly a pretty close ending there. I want to see. I mean, I thought Hawks probably could have got a shot off. I don't know, maybe he didn't have a reload or something.
Yeah,
that's kind of my one question here. Did we miss that? Because I felt like he was in a position to get a shot off.
I felt so as well, but yeah, again, hard to say. Right now, though, again, there was so many resets coming out over the course of this time, and yeah, I mean, Kyung Power just getting a little bit too aggressive there and paying the price for it. You know, he's a grill. There's no real reason that he needed to come down there. Nundesu here, again, he would have really liked one more reset there. If Nundesu had got one, then that would have taken a lot of pressure off Mr. Hawks.
Well, he had full shots.
Yeah.
Let's have a look and see. See, that's where he probably could have stopped and taken the shot.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know.
And you know what? Next patch, 9.16, he might have been able to take the shot.
Okay.
Obviously, we haven't. 9.16 hasn't hit here in for our server, but in the next patch, of course, for those that don't know, there's been a bit of networking wizardry by the folks over at Wargaming, and they've actually greatly improved the time from when you technically should have spotted a tank to when you actually spot the tank. So potentially that might be a factor.
Oh well. Maybe
for next patch. But anyways,
not for today.
Not for today. For today, and to be fair to B Gaming as well, he needed more than one shot. He couldn't have just charged in there, got one shot and died.
Well, he could have got one shot, maybe rammed another guy, get a bit of damage that way.
If he'd have done that, then that would have been the best play this season. If he could have, you know, yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess it's conjecture at this point because it's not what happened. It's not going to happen. And B Gaming, of course, closed that one out with a 2-0 on Prokhorovka. I said they should probably do that. I didn't think it needed to be that close for them. But they get the job done, so it doesn't matter how you do it, I suppose, as long as you do get it done. It'll put them at a 4-2 advantage after the first 3 maps. So good start here for B Gaming. Moving on to the next map, Ghost Town. How do you feel about that one? Well,
look, Ghost Town, it isn't really a map that either of these teams statistically are, you know, super favoured on.
Yeah.
You know, are both okay at it from memory. You know, we take a look
B
down
Gaming
here.
are pretty good at it.
B Gaming, yeah, around a 68% win
Yeah.
rate, so you can't complain about that overall. But I honestly feel as though recently B Gaming have been dropping off a little bit on Ghost Town. They've done some weird stuff with like T57s and you know, fighting out on flat lines with T57s and stuff like that, which hasn't really kind of tickled my fancy in terms of strategies and player style. But we'll see how they go here. I think Horsemen, what Horsemen are going to be wanting to do here on Ghost Town is just replicate Himmelsdorf. They're just going to be wanting to pick a very brawly focused lineup, get into a nice solid brawl with B Gaming, you know, get some FE215Bs in there, get some AMX50Bs, all your stock standard stuff,
right,
and use those to just get into a brawl and win it.
Well, let's see how the tank lineups are going to go. Maybe that'll give us a better indication as to how the match is going to go. Do see some T57 heavies. The Scorpion coming out again here for Horsemen this time.
I like to see the Scorpion. Of course, that Tier 8 German TD. That we did see for the first time.
Yeah,
actually.
Team Efficiency, I think, was the one that played it.
Yeah, Team Efficiency. So it's good to see it coming into play a little bit. Rhine Metal Scorpion G. Apart from that, we do have the T57 heavies on the B Gaming side. They're going to be going with, again, fairly standard lineup. The WZ111, love that overall. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that that premium tank destroyer, the Scorpion. Of course, recently introduced to the game, it does have that big 128mm cannon. Very fearsome damage on that one. It's a tier 8 tank that does 500 damage a pop with 311 mils of penetration on that gun.
Well, that's not bad, is it?
Yep. Outstanding alpha damage on that one. And I mean, if you can get the shots working, then that's the ticket. It becomes a big damage threat.
Potentially. I mean, it's such a scary tank for a tier 8 as well.
Yep.
You know, so that is something that B Gaming are going to have to consider here. Definitely.
Definitely. But right now, we're going to be seeing that IS-7 there. Colin actually taking a bit of damage. So
Tomato JP as well, though, took a bit. I think Horseman might have actually just come off a little better in that trade. Lord is going to have a shot fired in his direction as well, or a couple of them. Only one of them managing to actually deal any damage, but a little bit more damage going over in the favour of the Horsemen. So it's been a good start here. How do you feel this is going to go out? Do you think this is 1-1?
Yeah, I would say 1-1 here. I really think Horsemen should be able to pick up one game here on Ghost Town, just because it's what they're good at. It's what they're familiar at, brawling. And, you know, Horsemen here going with these T57 heavies, I really like that. So let's take a look at how they play with them. So we do have them heading in towards that 2 flag, and I'm really starting to like the Horsemen's positioning more and more here. Oh, sorry, B Gaming's positioning more and more here as they do push these 2 T57 heavies to almost get a bit of a flank on towards Hawks and Gorilla.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to these T57 heavies, though, isn't it? Because we've seen these initial trades have all gone the way of the Horsemen, and the T57 heavies have not been involved. We need to see them push forward eventually and come around from behind, probably pop one tank and deal a bit of damage to another one, because that's really the only way that B Game is going to be able to come back into this. With a 3,000 HP deficit, or 2,500 deficit already, Horsemen are looking very comfortable at the moment.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. So, right now, we are going to be seeing Gorilla there in that FV215B, just trying to get a few shots on towards, I think that's maybe Lod there in that 113. But overall, very aggressive defensive setup here for B Gaming. They are ready to pounce. As soon as Horsemen make one wrong move, all of B Gaming are ready to push in towards them and punish them for it. And the issue now, of course, is because none of the Horsemen have gotten themselves on towards that one flag. It's too late for them to do it now.
Yeah. Come Power well and truly in position to really deny that.
And really, when you have that Scorpion G, it doesn't really lend itself to doing the same sorts of things that those Tier 8 light tanks do. It's got bad view range, you know, bad signature. If you try and push it on towards a one flag, it's just going to die. So
yeah, but I mean, Horsemen have got like a IS-7 they could put on the flag, something like that.
That'd work.
So there's options. They've opted not to go for that.
Yeah. Even honestly, I mean, obviously you want your T57 heavies for the brawl, but still, a T57 wouldn't do bad on the one flag because it can shoot over. You know, it can get into a nice hold down position.
Holland's got another free shot across there. It's great stuff from the Horsemen so far. Slowly but surely getting the advantages that they need here. And eventually they'll be in a position where they can just take a brawl and win because of the sheer HP that they have. Yeah,
it's looking like it right there. Definitely starting off very well in terms of the trading stakes, as again they get a bit of an advantage with VSAMOV. They're taking one shot on towards Colin, and Samo is going to be wanting to, reload. Does start that one off, and Colin not tempted enough to push in, as we do see some of B Gaming actually moving. It's looking like the Horsemen now might be getting exactly what they want. They might be getting a brawl. Now that T57 Heavy is just about reloaded, they could go for it any time.
Anytime. Still 5 minutes left though, so they don't necessarily need to push it really all that hard. And Colin, he's trying to get aggressive here, but I think he might have just played a little bit too aggressive. The T57 Heavies are going to try and take advantage of that. They should be able to take him down, and they do. So that's a good little bit of a response coming out there from B Gaming. They'll empty their clips into Gorilla 2. And so, very nice little turnaround, but that's going to be sort of the go signal as well for the rest of the Horsemen. Although it does seem to be swinging a little bit the way of B Gaming, who've managed to do quite a lot of damage. They've taken down 2 tanks. There's a third going down for the Horsemen. And now, we are starting to see the B Gaming guys really get the ball rolling here.
Yeah, there we go. Absolutely fantastic little assassinations there by B Gaming, taking down all but 3 members of the Horsemen. And at this point, I just don't see there's a way for them to come back from that. The Horsemen have not been able to take out a single member of B Gaming. Again, that target prioritization, a big issue for the Horsemen, as Spencer goes down in the Scorpion G there. Yep. I think B Gaming are going to be giving themselves a pat on the back. A great initial execute started off by those 2 T57s up near the 2 flag. The Horsemen couldn't rotate fast enough to defend that, and they just weren't ready for it.
Absolutely not. So this time, only 1 tank from B Gaming goes down. A fantastic result again coming out for those guys. So Horsemen, I mean, they looked so good early on there, but they just got a little bit too aggressive, and they got punished for it.
Yep, exactly. A little bit too aggressive, and honestly, I feel as though then, even though it did, one of the issues was that they got too aggressive, I felt as though if they'd have just pushed in initially, once they, just got those early damage advantages, those early trade advantages in the round, if they just said, okay, let's go full on, all down this, one particular line, down one of the roads in Ghost Town then they wouldn't have been vulnerable to those essentially flanking attacks. Those 2 T57s came down. They completely obliterated the IS-7. The FV215B came to help, and they completely obliterated the FV215B as well. So,
well, let's have a look at the replay here of that battle. It's going to be all B Gaming, really, on these replays.
Yeah, this was the crucial start here that B Gaming needed. Those 2 T57s poking down, punishing Colin, who really shouldn't have been there, against 2 T57s. Gorilla comes in. Gorilla's like, oh yeah, I'm going to save the day. Gorilla went down after that. He didn't save the day at all. He ruined the day for the Horsemen.
Yeah, no, I mean, across the board, the Horsemen all just sort of started to try and push in at the same time, but they just got picked apart one by one. There was nothing they could really do about it.
Yeah, they really should have just committed to a push right after they got those early trades, rather than sticking around, rather than trying to try their luck. Because B Gaming just said, okay, guys, we lost a few trades. Where are they? Okay, they're here. Let's fix it, and they did. So
they certainly did. So 5-2 advantage now to B Gaming. They have a great opportunity to close out this second half here on Ghost Town as well, which is a map that they've been very strong on throughout the season, and it is Horsemen's pick though. So
yeah, look, I don't mind the Horsemen on Ghost Town. Obviously, it is a map that plays similarly in quite a few ways to Himmelsdorf. There's just a little bit more sort of openness in the center of the map and up top. But just initially, that game there, I really don't think that the Scorpion G would have been able to do much either, because maybe got a few shots off early on, but after that, I don't think we'll be seeing it again in this second half here by the Horsemen.
It really didn't seem like it had all that much effectiveness. Like it sort of maybe got 1 or 2 shots off, like you said, but I don't think it was put in a position where it was to do damage there. I think it was more sort of as not necessarily a scout tank, but
like
just
a ward.
Hold the flank. Yeah, it's kind of like a ward, I guess, to draw some parallels. But definitely, he was just sitting there, making sure that no one could rotate around through the back, but he wasn't necessarily in there in the fight dealing damage, which, to be fair, is probably not his role either in that sort of a tank.
More of like a kind of just gun emplacement, just a tier 8 gun emplacement, because he couldn't really rotate very fast. By the time he did rotate, he just got 3 shot because he's a Scorpion.
Yeah.
So he was really just there to kind of ward off any of the enemies that came through, I guess. So yeah. Overall, I wouldn't expect him to be very high on the damage charts at all. So, yeah.
Probably not. Probably not. I think the T57 heavies probably were the ones really the takeaways there for B Gaming. They got in there, they got the initial kill, they got a reload off as well, and they got a few more kills after that. So great stuff from B Gaming, utilizing that tank pretty well. And we're going to have to see some sort of a response coming out here from the Horsemen, really, because, they started off very well, but they weren't able to really pull it off. It just felt like, something went missing there for Horsemen around the middle stages of that map.
I honestly think a lot of Horsemen's recent problems may be, well, not even recent problems, because they haven't really, been super crash hot this season. Maybe because of their shot calling. It's like in that situation, if you have an in-game shot caller, where you've got one person on your team, let's call him the commander on the Horsemen's side. Falusa should be the commander of his team and say, okay, guys, we're going to be going in now. We've got them low enough so that we can win a brawl. Let's go. And that's not what happened. They just kept on trying their luck, and it didn't work. So,
well, they're going to have another chance to try their luck. Heading over here onto the second half of Ghost Town. It's 5-2 in the favour of B Gaming. If this was a regular battle, it would have been already a win for B Gaming, but Horsemen, they can still claw their way back into this one. Best of 13, first to 7 is the format coming out today in our playoffs. And the tank lineups not looking too bad here going into the second half of Ghost Town, though. Grill 15, that's a little interesting. Not something we see on this map too often.
And going with the German tier 10 tank destroyer, the Grill 15, locking that one in. Again, similar to Prokhorov. I will be interested to see where they put the grill, because it doesn't scream Ghost Town tank for me. Yeah, like they're picking some interesting tanks, because again, I like the Scorpion, right? I really like the Scorpion, but I'm still oh. Poor old Dundesu.
Thought he was going to get a bit of damage across there to Spencer, but didn't really happen. I think 2 damage came out of all of that. 4 damage, actually. Both of them took 2. So really irrelevant, to be fair. But it's allowed B Gaming very quickly to sort of get into, well, this is, again, something different from B Gaming. This sort of a southern push is not, this setup is not something that we see very, very often. They're going to go for another boost here by the looks of things, Horsemen.
And in the meantime, we do see B Gaming heading down towards the southern end.
Oh, they've got it this time.
There we go. They've got the boost. Okay, good boost there by Nundesu. And
usually we'd see like an RU251 up here.
Yeah.
Offers a bit of protection in towards that one flag.
Yeah. I kind of like the Grill 15 up here, actually. And with the way that B Gaming's going, maybe as long as Nundesu can find a good spot to sit, then he should be alright. But, yeah, not sure.
If he gets spotted out there, he's going to be under a bit of pressure as well, but shouldn't be too worried about that for now, as B Gaming not too interested in the northern side of the map. Just working the 2 flag.
Yeah, so right now, I'm going to be seeing B Gaming rotating maybe back towards that 2 flag and potentially getting themselves on towards that 2 flag cap, which, well, I would initially say isn't that great because I hate the 2 flag here on Ghost Town. Has too many sort of openings to defend, and too many angles we can get shot from. But, oh, actually, there you go.
Yep.
IS-7 of T4 just gets, I think that was Nundesu.
It would have had to have been, right? For that amount of damage?
Yep. Nundesu getting a big shot onto him, and I was actually just about to say that I don't like where B Gaming is pushing because the Grill 15 can't get shots in towards it, but then just like that, we see Nundesu poke out into the street where we saw that T4 poked out into the street where Nundesu had eyes. Boom, just like that, gets punished with 750 damage.
Yep, exactly, but still, B Gaming have got fairly decent control of this area now for the map now. That 2 flag, it's ticking down. It's not a worry just yet for Horsemen, but they are starting to rotate across, and this is what B Gaming wants. They want to kind of draw them into a fight. Lod will be able to do a bit of damage across to Archon. Might have been Kyung Power, but one of those two. And B Gaming content to sit on this flag, waiting for Horsemen to push into them.
And there we go. So B Gaming right here. Going to be just waiting onto the flag. 45 seconds left. Keeping the pressure on the Horsemen. Hawks is going to be the first one to poke in there. Matil not looking, gets reset. So a good little initial poke. Spencer now is going to get dropped a little bit lower, and he's in some danger. His gunner's dead as well.
Yeah, still not so bad there for B Gaming. Even though they get reset, they do manage to get some damage across. At the moment, I don't feel like they're super committed towards that flag, really. They're just trying to get the damage across to Horsemen, and they're certainly doing that. Spencer takes another shot. He's down to 151, so his HP not looking so fantastic. Across the board, though, we're just going to see lots and lots of trades coming across. It looks like Horsemen have got themselves in a position here to start doing some damage back to B Gaming.
Yeah, this is where, look, it's good that B Gaming pulled themselves off the 2 flag, right? If they'd have fought on the 2 flag, they simply would have lost. There's too many angles to defend it from, but now they're going to be rotating up a little bit. Love to see them rotate, you know, some of the tanks around towards that one.
Oh, no! Matil, he's going to flip himself over. Oh, wow. Boy.
I think your crew would be a little bit shaken up after that one.
Well.
Almost looked planned.
I don't
it
know
almost
what
looked
to
planned.
Say. He just was like, all right, I'm going to do a barrel roll off this thing.
Well, he's the style MVP for this match.
I think he escapes with a bit of a lucky break there, to be fair. Oh, well.
Oh, well. Anyways, Matil still alive, so B Gaming still going to be ahead in terms of the age people. They've got about 1100 HP advantage at the moment, and liking the way they're looking to push in towards the Horsemen. So we do see the Horsemen again sitting up around those streets. Spencer's looking for another bit of a rotate in that bat chat. AP down the bottom there, but he's probably going to be met by Tomato JP and taken out. Quick Smart.
Still hanging in the balance at the moment. I mean, B Gaming have got the HP advantage here, but it's really not unassailable. It's 4 minutes 20 left on the clock. We've already seen quite a lot of these battles go down to sort of the last minute remaining. Wouldn't be surprised to see another one coming out here. B Gaming are really letting this timer tick down quite a lot. And yes, they're getting the advantages slowly but surely and getting map control where they need it. The question is, are they doing it fast enough?
Yeah, and I'm not too sure about that. 4 minutes left on the clock here. So Matil is going to be heading back down to the rest of his team. And look, B Gaming are just trying for trades here, and T4 in that IS-7 being ammo racked, maybe not the worst idea to just go for those, but just like that, they lose out a couple, and they almost lose their HP lead. That's going to be Archon. What's he doing?
I don't know, to be honest. He's going to try and take down Kyung Power, but won't be able to do that. And, well, Kyung Power, for now, he gets out of there alive. He took another shot from Faluso, but Well, you know what? That's a favourable trade for B Gaming, getting one tank down and an AMX-50B as well. That's a lot of damage off the field here for Horsemen. Kyung Power will be able to get out of there alive, get a reload across. He'll be able to reset himself and get himself in a position to deal some more damage here. So I feel like Horsemen have just let a little bit too much slip there. Nundesu at least is going to be able to pull one back onto Tiltil Matil, but I still feel like B Gaming are favoured here.
Yeah, definitely. B Gaming here are going to be able to clean up Mr. Colin.
Ooh.
And
Tomato JP just took a big shot, 1200 damage going into him, so it might have been a couple of shots in fact. But in general, I mean, B Gaming, look at how low their tanks are. That's the real problem for them.
Yeah, and look at this actually. Lod and T for the 113 and the IS-7 both.
Whoa.
Oh, big shot from Nundesu in the grill. The sniper of the Horsemen.
Yeah.
Really keeping them in it at the moment, Jordan.
Absolutely. He's been putting some big shots across to the B Gaming guys, and I mean, B Gaming, they have a tank.
Again!
Yeah, they have a couple of tanks advantage, but really, how are they going to deal with Nundesu? That's the real question. They can't peek out into him. I mean, Utori will be able to survive a shot. Lod might be able to survive a shot, but I'm sure they're not going to be too keen on that, so they're just going to sit on that 2 flag. It's 2 minutes 15 left on the clock here. Again, another similar situation here for the Horsemen to what they had on Prokhorovka on the defense. They need to get the resets across here. Nundesu, he can't sit up in that position forever. Yep. He's going to have to make his way down towards that 2 flag. Gorilla's in a good spot to be able to get a reset when they need to. He's unspotted at the moment and should be able to get a pretty free one. Might take a shot for it, but he'll get the reset across.
Yep.
A minute 50 left on the clock here. Again, this is going down to the wire. And oh, a bat chat. Gorilla picking up T4 there, so that's even better. I thought he was just going to get the reset onto the 113, but in fact he gets the reset and the kill. And now maybe something's in this for Horseman. Nundesu will chime in, but he's probably going to be going down to Utori. Is Utori going to be able to finish him off?
No.
No. I was hoping maybe he's going to ram him. That's
oh,
what
no,
I think.
his engine's down.
There
his
we go.
engine's down.
Yeah.
He can't reverse. Oh, and just like that. So unlucky there, but Spencer is going to be able to take out Kyung Power. What about Tomato GP? Spencer is... Oh, he's going to be trying to run away, but I think you'll need one more reset if they both get onto the cap. Yes, he will.
You need one reset.
One reset. They can't leave the cap right now. They cannot leave the cap.
Nope.
So all Spencer needs is to get one reset. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Spencer there, you can see Jordan's getting excited. I'm getting excited as well, because if Spencer pulls this one off, this could be a massive, massive play here for Mr. Spencer.
28 seconds left on the clock for the timer. 36 seconds left on the clock for the game. Again, going right down to the wire. B Gaming, they have the chance to pull this one off, but Spencer, he's going to have to go hero mode here for the Horseman. He's got 13 seconds left to play with. He's rotated across very well, and it's really going to come down to which direction those B Gaming tanks are looking. He's actually gone for a super long rotate. Can he pull this one off? 2 seconds left on the cap, and he does get the reset! He's done it!
Spencer,
Utori,
legend!
Utori is not going to be able to close this out. I don't think they know exactly where each other are. No, he just needs to drive around the building. Oh my word, B Gaming. So close, yet so far. Spencer.
Spencer, what a legend.
He pulls it off.
What a legend. Okay, well, B Gaming. B Gaming going to be so disappointed. That was literally the last second.
Yeah.
The last
I thought he wasn't going to fire in time.
I thought so as well. Literally would have been, again, just like half a second in it. You know, if he'd gone half a second later, they would have capped. But perfect timing there by Spencer.
He played that one so well. He got around into a position where, you know, obviously the B Gaming tanks weren't aiming. There's only 2 of them. There's 4 entries.
That's the 2 flag for you, Johnny. You know what I always like to say? If you push the 2 flag, you lose the game on Ghost Town. And that's what happened just there. Honestly, like I wish we'd have stats for throughout this season, specifically on. Actually, we do on the defensive side on Ghost Town, and I'm going to take a look at those after this one, because I would bet you that the win rate for 2 flag pushes, which we don't actually have stats for, would be super, super low. So Probably.
Well, at least that one would have been going towards the losing stat for the attacking side. But look, regardless, I think we're focusing too much there on B Gaming and not enough on Spencer, who really just pulled that one off. Like I said, he got into the position where he needed to go. 2 tanks, they can't cover off 4 different angles, and he took the longest possible route to get that rotate across to get into that position that he needed to be in. He read the situation so well and really pulled that one off so well for the Horsemen. Keeps them clinging on here. We'll go have a look at the replays. But, I mean, I feel like, you know, today's only just starting to heat up. I mean, if this is how playoffs is going to deliver, I don't know how he manages to flip back over here.
I have no idea either.
But look, if this is what we're seeing so early on here in the playoffs, then I can't wait for finals, to be honest. Like, imagine what we're going to see coming out when all the teams are here in Sydney, in the studio. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Yep, there we go. So, B Gaming, going to be heading in towards this next one. And look, Nundesu as well, he actually did a good job. Like, let's just, you know, take a step back and think about how Nundesu went here, because he was absolutely stellar in his performance in the grill. I reckon he probably dealt over 3k damage this game, and maybe even more, maybe even 4k, because he was just completely destroying it. And I mean, it's just so unfortunate that this next shot from Otori took his engine out, because then he might have been able to survive that ramp.
I don't think he would have. I mean, like AMX50B going downhill.
He could have gone forward and dodged it, though.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of question marks, I guess, there, but really this is what it came down to. Oh, and he was almost going full speed as well. Like, he just slowed down just enough to get the shot.
Crazy.
He knew that he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop. Otherwise, the AMX50B, or was it the whatever tank it was that was left, would have had time to turn its turret, get a shot off maybe. But boy, oh boy, Spencer, he puts 3 on the board there for Horsemen, and that's what they need. They need those individual plays, because at the moment, B Gaming is playing better as a unit. But, you know, if Horsemen can pull something off.
And it's funny because Spencer, you know, he's normally the Horsemen's player in these games that dies first. You know, he'll be the one that rushes in very, very early, gets dropped down to 0 before he has an impact on the game. So it's very easy to mistake Spencer as, you know, one of those players who's just, oh yeah, he's just a light tank player. You know, never really made any clutches, but there you go. He's just, well, made a season's worth of clutches in 1 round.
All right, well, it's not over just yet. Let's have a look at how things are going to go here on Ruinberg. The next map coming up. Tank lineups are in. It's going to be a Scorpion coming out once again. Horseman with a couple of IS-7s on the attack.
Okay, there we go. Scorpion over for the Horsemen. They do seem to like that Rhine Metal Scorpion G. And I don't blame them for it. Look, I like the idea of having a tier 8 tank destroyer just because purely because it's different. And here on Ruinberg, I feel as though you've actually got a lot more opportunities to use it than on Ghost Town. So we'll see how that works out for them. They have got those 2 IS-7s, probably going to be popping one in the pillbox that we normally see near the 2 flag. B Gaming side, nothing too crazy in terms of tank picks, and here we are, Ruinberg.
Yeah, well, this is one that I can definitely see going 1-1. I thought Ghost Town was probably going to be a 2-0 for B Gaming, but, I mean, this is a map that Horsemen do play quite a lot, a map that B Gaming play reasonably often as well, and, I mean, 63% win rate or so for B Gaming, about 50% for Horsemen, but we know Ruinberg so often goes a 1-1.
Yep.
But I think we might be in for the long haul here, Alex.
Yeah, we might be. Well, Horsemen are definitely going to be looking to get in for the long haul because they are only on 3 games in this series. B Gaming 5. And as we start out here on Ruinberg, the Horsemen, like expected, are going to be putting Colin in one of those IS-7s out towards a pillbox in that F7 area. Getting himself nice and tucked in there. You've got Gorilla overlooking the 2 flag as well. And it's looking like a pretty solid, kind of careful, cautious attack here from the Horsemen. They have got Hawk set up to look around the 1 flag, which is, you know, good to know whether B Gaming do decide to make any late pushes down there to try and flank the Horsemen. Obviously, because Spencer is in that Scorpion G as well, it's well worth Horsemen. that IS-7.
Did he just use a repair kit?
Yes.
So that's a very early repair kit burn for an IS-7.
Look, it's an early repair kit burn, but he didn't take any damage, so I think that's worth it.
Yeah, probably.
So, again, I love when the IS-7s just don't. Sometimes it just seems like the IS-7s don't take damage. You know.
Lots of dings, but for now, you know, Horsemen, they're okay. B Gaming, of course, going to be liking starting off on the defensive side here. They do favour that. So does Horsemen.
Yep. And yeah, I'm going to be seeing no one actually down in that K0 area. Often, as is the standard, we do see maybe the defenders heading one of their lights or a medium down towards that K0 area. T54 lightweight mightn't be too bad down there. Often it's an Object 140 or the like. But it's not going to be happening. In the meantime, we do have Spencer sitting up in the town. And Spencer's just going to be looking out down that little F road. But overall, no major plays made so far by either teams. Look like Horsemen are going to be rotating up a little bit here. And the only issue I can see for B Gaming, Jordan, is that they do have 2 tanks as opposed to 1 on that 1 flag. And Tomato, JP and Otori, look, they can rotate fairly quickly. A Bat Chat and a 113. You know, 113 fairly nimble when it wants to be. Just have to be a little bit cautious of that. I'm liking the Horsemen's kind of slow push in here, though. They're gaining ground without losing hit points, and that's always the key.
It is. Collins found himself in a good position here in the IS-7. If he can get in that hold-down spot, it's going to cause a bit of a headache for B Gaming, who have really sort of fallen back a little bit off this 2 flag. Horsemen have done a good job of just forcing them away a little bit, and they now have reasonable control towards the southern end of the map. I like the way that this is starting to set up here for Horsemen on the attacking side. If they can get an IS-7 on towards that 2 flag, then things are going to get a little bit troublesome here for B Gaming when they try and start to get some resets across. Especially with Colin in this spot here. He's going to be so hard to dislodge.
Yeah. Very, very hard indeed. And I think Colin there, in the standard spot that we do love to see those IS-7s, is just going to be in a few nice shots across on towards any B Gaming members that come into his line of sight. But we do have the Horsemen here rotating Spencer out, and that's good. They need that extra DPM of the Scorpion G in the fight once they do decide to do it. And really, with the Horsemen's lineup, see no reason why they can't just go in for a bit of a city brawl against B Gaming. Get the 113, get the IS-7s in there, get the AMX 50B in there, flank the Bat Chats around, and you're golden, because at the moment, B Gaming, they've already kind of half pushed out of the city, which isn't great, you know, because now it's harder for them to get that reset. They don't have that, that forward position that they need to get it. So I'm quite liking the start here by the Horsemen, 5 minutes in.
Yeah, I definitely like the way that this is set up. We'll have to see what B Gaming have got really on the cards here, because this is not something that you would tend to see the defensive side do, right? They really need to be pushing a little bit further forward, but you know, they've definitely given up space, right? They've let Horsemen get in here without really contesting them. So B Gaming, they must have something in mind here when they're rotating across through the town. So I want to see what they're going to go for. I don't think it's over just yet, but I do like the position that Horsemen has found themselves in.
Yeah. So, right now, we are going to be seeing Power not going over that bump too fast. We've seen what can happen with Black going over it pretty quickly in the past. And with 40 seconds left on the clock, I do like that little bit of a rotate there coming in from B Gaming, but I'm going to have to be very, very cautious, because those IS-7s, they have a big amount of alpha damage on those guns. So, about 500 or so on the IS-7. Don't want to be taking 2 of those in quick succession.
Well, now 6 minutes gone by, only 4 minutes left, and Horsemen have had to give up a bit of control now that B Gaming have pushed in a little bit. Tomato JP, Kankian Power, I think it might be, I don't even know who's the other one. Utori might be the one in that sort of F line, EF line, and they've just really started to put pressure on the Horsemen from that position now.
Yeah, and look at this. While they put pressure on them from that F line, the Horsemen are going to be putting pressure on B Gaming from the 0 line and pushing right up into the town. B Gaming, interestingly enough, not opting for a full-on town brawl right here, just letting the Horsemen come to them, and that's going to work out well.
It certainly has. I'm not exactly sure what Gorilla's done here, but, well, it's not worked out too well for him nonetheless. 97 HP left, and no longer now 97 HPs. He's going to go down there. Horsemen, they might have just tried to force this one a little bit too much. They need to get some damage back across to B Gaming here. If they go down 6-3, I mean, B Gaming, of course, starting off on the defensive side, it's favourable for them, but they can definitely close this out 7-3. So, Horsemen, they want to hang on here. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Yeah,
and look at this. I think Colin's just about to be rushed as well as T4 and Tomato JP are coming around him. Nundesu and Archon are going to be coming back to try and defend him, but against 4 members of B Gaming, I don't think that's going to work.
I don't know. Well, Tiltil Matil does manage to take down Spencer, but it's only the tier 8 tank there. So, still tanks left to play with here for Horsemen. But Colin, I mean, he's under a lot of pressure here. Yeah. Up towards the town, there's so much pressure going on towards Archon, Nundesu as well.
But there's 5 B Gaming tanks right here. The members of Horsemen in the town should be able to take that out. They need to.
They need to, but they're not being able to. That's the problem. B Gaming need to try and get something done here. Colin is still alive, funnily enough, in the IS-7 there. And this is a very sort of a slow, drawn-out battle coming out here, really. But B Gaming are slowly but surely getting the better of it. Colin, Faluso, Archon, Nundesu, they're all very low on HP now. Faluso really the only one with really anything to speak of, but how much longer is that going to last as Lord is going to be taking down Colin. 1 minute 43 left here. Horsemen on the attacking side, they've just really not done enough on Ruinberg.
Yeah. It's looking like it right there, and overall B Gaming with an excellent sort of bait. They definitely lured the Horsemen into their trap there on the town, and they said, okay guys, you can come into the town, it's all yours. And as soon as they did, caught that IS-7 on the street, ambushed it, boom, that was that. You know, one IS-7 down at the blink of an eye, and it was all B Gaming from there on.
Absolutely, and it was a very good performance from B Gaming. I was perplexed as to what they were doing early on in the piece, letting Horsemen get in so freely on towards that 2 flag, but it certainly worked out in the end.
Definitely did. Yeah, very well played there by the B Gaming crew. And overall, the Horsemen, I mean, look, I like their early play, you know, getting a little bit kind of step by step on towards that town.
Yeah.
But and you know, getting the IS-7 on towards that little pillbox area like we normally see. But I feel as though they should have done a little bit faster. If they'd done a little bit faster, then they wouldn't have given B Gaming time to come up with what they sort of ended up going with in you know, pushing their tanks back, baiting the Horsemen in towards them so that they could strike as soon as that IS-7 and as soon as the Horsemen crossed into the road, you know, just completely unleashed from 2 different angles of attack from both the city and the back of the town where they were situated.
Well, really troublesome times now for Horsemen. They're down 6-3. Before we get into the next half, we'll go and have a look at the replays there, but Horsemen have got a lot of work to do to come back into this one, and this is not how they would have wanted to start that. Gorilla, I mean, just gets caught out in essentially no man's land. So many tanks going to be able to get a free shot onto him, and there was no way that was going to end apart from him going down.
Yep. No, exactly. And Colin there in that IS-7 afterwards really just didn't have too much of an impact because B Gaming didn't play to it. You know, B Gaming didn't force the town brawl, which is where the IS-7 would have had much more of a kind of say in things, I suppose. And instead, they just baited him out there. And really, the pillbox becomes a lot less useful when you flank around it in 3 different directions.
Yeah.
So,
yes. Well, that was just the story of it. Look at how much health B Gaming had left. Did they even lose a tank in the end there? It doesn't look like it. So again, another one where B Gaming go through without losing a single tank. So it just goes to show, I think, here how strong B Gaming are at the moment up against the Horsemen.
Looking super, super strong. So will the Horsemen be able to come back from this? This is the question. I mean, I predicted a 7-3 victory.
Yeah.
To the Horsemen. So technically speaking, I should be saying that B Gaming win this next one, but I really feel as though it's still going to be hard.
Attack
it's still
on
going to be close.
Yeah.
Attack on Ruinberg.
Especially considering Horsemen are not bad on the defense of Ruinberg either. It does, you know, it is still up in the air for me. I don't know if B Gaming are going to have enough to close it out. on the attack. I think probably Horsemen should be able to do it, which would mean we'd go on to steps as our final map, plus if we got to the tiebreaker there. But look, to be honest, it's so hard to call. Like, could go either way.
Yeah, well, guys, why don't you let us know what you think with the hashtag WGL APAC up in the corner of your screen up there, who you think is going to take out this next one here on Ruinberg between the Horsemen and B Gaming. Make sure to include that hashtag and let us know. We always like to hear you. But for now, Jordan, I think it's time to take a look at what tanks these guys are going to be bringing in for the second half of Ruinberg.
Let's have a look and see. AMX 50Bs. Bat chats. So a bit of a departure from what we saw in the last half. Both teams opting for something a little different.
There we go. So yeah, both teams maybe looking to end this one quickly from the looks of things. With bat chats and AMX 50Bs. Look, you can never go wrong with bat chats and 50Bs. Obviously a different style of play to the i7. So, you know, we're not going to be seeing any super slow town pushes. We're going to be seeing decisive ones, which I like to see. So let's wait and see where they're going on the attack, though. B Gaming are leaving no time to start off their attack with Tiltil Matil already in that Batchat AP. The Tier 9 Batchat getting right on towards the cap. Not even 1 minute in, and already starting to move up and put some pressure on towards the Horsemen defenders in that town.
Yeah, so Horsemen have got a bit more of a forward defense than what B Gaming did have. Gorilla just holding off in this position here, you know, sort of in case of a one flag rush, but obviously we can see B Gaming not particularly interested in doing that, at least for now. They're more so interested in towards that B Gaming, in towards that two flag, brother. Don't even know where I was going with that one, but still. Tilton Matil, he's gotten pretty far forward towards that town, and it's not worked out too well for him, let's say that. He's down by 839, he's gotten tracked there as well, and that's going to be that. B Gaming lose Tiltil Matil, and that's not exactly the start that they would have needed.
Yeah, there we go. So, not a great start from B Gaming, but let's take a look. They did only lose that Tier 9 tank, which was playing just slightly too aggressively. Tomato JP there, unfortunately not able to get any shots back in reparation for that loss, but Horsemen, still liking how they're setting up. It's looking like Spencer and Gorilla might be trying for a bit of a flank now, and if they do that, then they might catch out. Oh no, Tomato JP's actually just spotted it in there, so Tomato JP must be in a nice spot there to have spotted out Spencer and Gorilla. And that's going to mean that these B Gaming guys in the town are going to be, or the city are going to be very wary of them. And oh no, Tomato JP just getting destroyed.
That's excellent from Horsemen. They know exactly where you can shoot through there. And well, that has definitely caught Tomato JP off guard. Excellent use of the map from Horsemen.
Yeah, we have never seen that
in the season.
In the season,
no,
never. So, fantastic little bit of play there by Horsemen. And just like that, Jordan, they're up 2 tanks. They've only lost half the HP of their AP, one of their APs. Oh, but just like that, Hawks actually gets chunked. So...
Still, the Horsemen, they knew that they had to pull something out here. They know that they have to take this back to 6-6 so that they can go to that tiebreaker. But is it going to be enough? I mean, they've picked up 1, but they've already lost 1 of their own. They've picked up 2, rather, but... Picked up 1 Tier 10, 1 Tier 9. Still, much weighted in the way of Horsemen for now.
Yeah, I feel as though they actually need to go here, the Horsemen. I feel as though while they've got still just some semblance of an advantage with having those 2 tanks down, they need to push down on towards B Gaming down here with all of their tanks. And yeah, exactly, just like that. Capitalize on the advantage, take out the tanks. Utori's going to be the first one to go down. And that's exactly what they needed to do.
Yep, indeed it is. And B Gaming, again, lose a tank. So, overall, this has been a slow but steady defense from Horsemen, and it's worked out quite well. B Gaming definitely not really having as good of a time here on the attack as they did on the defense, which is probably to be expected.
Probably. It's, right now, T4. Honestly, we've just seen 2 Batchat ricochets in a row, and you know, it's times like this when you just wonder how those happen. I guess. But T4 is going to be heading back towards the town. We do see B Gaming maybe regrouping for a 1 flag push.
Maybe, but yeah, look, well, they have to go for something. And I mean, they have a decent amount of HP to play with. It's not like they're out of this fight just yet. I mean, it is 4 versus 6, but the HP difference is only 1,000, just over 1,000 in the favor of Horsemen. So it's not like B Gaming can't come back into this one. A couple of nice shots from an AX50B. I mean, they're all auto-loaders, so
yeah, well, exactly.
they can just pop off a few shots, pick up a tank. I mean, there's still 5 minutes left as well, so
that's what's going for them. That's what's going for B Gaming at the moment, is that they do have a lot of time to play with. They're all on full HP. I don't think any of them have used repair kits or anything like that, and they're all in those auto loaders. So they can pop Spencer here. They can take Spencer out, potentially, and as long as they don't sacrifice any tanks doing that, then suddenly things start to look a little bit more even.
Well, that's a good start there for B Gaming. They bring the HP back in their favor, actually. But how much is that going to work? Now they've actually taken down 2. So 4 versus 4, HP advantage, B Gaming. They have used up a lot of shots though, so a couple of them are on the reload. Well, Samo's on a reload. Lod, he's almost on a reload here, so this would be when Horsemen would have to pressure them, but there's no Horsemen tanks over in that direction that can actually really do that. Nundesu in the AMX50B, he'll have to make use of all of these shots, and he'll manage to connect the first 2. Can he get the third into Lod?
Nope,
not quite, that one. Not quite, but you know, not too bad. Gets the 2 shots into him for only 1 into his own tank.
Mate, that 2.
Yeah, but a good swing though for Horsemen. They bring the HP back in their advantage, and you know, a little bit more time going away there for B Gaming. So
Lod's only 1 shot as well, so that's good news for the Horsemen. And the Horsemen is, well, it's an auto loader off. They've got 3 AMX50Bs in the 1 bad chat. B Gaming with 1 AMX50B and the 3 bad chats, one of them being a bad chat AP. So, oh no, T4 there. Had to use that repair kit, and he's going to fight it out against Nundesu here. DHXD needs to help him.
Yeah, and Nundesu, he's running out of bullets now, and, well, shells, and T4 will be able to clean that one up. That's a huge kill coming out there. B Gaming now have the tank advantage from 4v6. It's now a 4 versus 3. Horsemen scrambling a little bit, but at least they have the HP to play with. And DHXD, he should be able to clean up T4 without too many difficulties here. Needs to only use 1 shell, and he misses the first one. That's so crucial. Doesn't even hit the second one. He's choking a little bit here, and he's actually going to focus on Samo. He'll surely clean that one up, but T4 is still alive, and DHXD has taken so much damage trying to get that kill onto T4.
Close.
He could have gotten both of those tanks, and he only gets 1. B Gaming just a little bit more composed for now, but Faluso at least is going to be able to take down Lod. It's now a 1 versus 3, and B Gaming relying on Kian power. He does have 1 shot left in the clip. I just don't think he's going to be able to pull this one off, Alex.
No, he needed, that last shot needed to clean up DHXD. And even if it had, Faluso could have charged right down towards him. The AMX50B deals about 1,600 damage in a clip. So if Faluso had just pressed W towards Kian Power, then there would have been nothing else that he could have done. So overall, look, a good try here by B Gaming. But the Horsemen, it's looking like are going to be able to come out on top.
Certainly is. I mean, it's going to have to be some real big choke from the Horsemen if they're going to lose this one, but that's not going to be the case, as we're going to see Kian Power go down in the end there. So Horsemen bring it back to 4 and 6. They survive again. This time
by the skin of their teeth.
Exactly. They've got no chances left. They can't afford to lose another one. They will have to 2-0 steps if they want to take it through to the tiebreaker.
Steps. I mean, looking at the Horsemen here, I feel as though the Horsemen are actually quite good on steps.
I do too, but so are B Gaming.
So are B Gaming, that's the issue. I mean, look, but stepping it back a bit back for now, on towards what we just saw Ruinberg, right? I mean, early on, that was so far in the Horsemen's favour. I wouldn't have thought the B Gaming could have come back as far as they did into having a chance of that.
No, definitely not. But let's have a look at the replays. That'll show us how things went down there. But you're right, Horsemen, you know, this initial pick, Tiltil Matil goes down, and then they got another pick.
Yep.
And they still only just, well, I mean, it wasn't only just, it was, they had 3 tanks left alive. So to be fair, it was a pretty reasonable victory. It was confident, but it was closer than it needed to be. But this was excellent from Horsemen.
Fantastic.
Definitely caught Tomato JP off guard.
Yeah, 100%, and he's obviously never really faced that sort of a push before, has Mr. Tomato JP. But here down the bottom as well, and they capitalised on it, the Horsemen. That's what really helped them to take that one out. As soon as they realised they had that tank advantage, you know, like we suggested, they just went right in. They're like, okay, well, we're 2 tanks up at the moment. Let's try and push them. We know that one of their tanks is in the town, so head down to the 0 line, get another tank, get a little bit of an advantage. And if it wasn't for DHXD kind of nearly choking, then it would have been super clean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
a
joke.
This is going to haunt him.
Misses 2.
Oh.
Seriously, one you can put down to RNG, right?
Yeah.
Then the second, it's like obviously feeling a bit of the pressure. And yeah. Oh,
Well,
Falusa there, just getting completely. Well, Kyung Power getting completely annihilated at the end of it. So yeah, B Gaming taking out the win. Sorry, Horsemen taking out the win at 6-4.
1-1 for B Gaming, I guess, there on Nuremberg. But you're right, 6-4. And now we get on to our final map of the regular time. Steps. We know it's a good map for the Horsemen, but we also know it's a very good map for B Gaming. And remember, B Gaming, they only need 1 round. They don't need to pick up the 2. The pressure is really on Horsemen because a 1-1 here would probably be the expected result, I would say.
Yep.
But for Horsemen to 2-0 that, I think that's a very big ask.
Look, it is a very big ask, but I think that the way the Horsemen have been playing, as long as they stick to some standardy picks, like they don't throw in a Scorpion G or something like that, you know, here on Steps, then I think it's definitely within the realms of possibility for the Horsemen to 2-0 this. I mean, they've been playing really, really well today.
Yes.
Right? Overall, they may be a little bit soft at the beginning, but they've really pulled it together now. So overall, I think this, look, probably is going to be a 1-1, but there's every chance that the Dark Horses can come out on top.
Oh, well, let's go ahead and find out. We've got our tank picks ready for Steps, and we'll head in there and have a look and see if we're going to be seeing a Scorpion G. We're not.
Lorraine.
Lorraine, though, coming out for the Horsemen.
That'll be Mr. Faluso in all probabilities playing that one.
Defensive side artillery as well.
Defensive side artillery. Look, nothing wrong with that. Obviously, if you're on the defensive side with an arty piece, you generally would prefer it if the attackers had maybe another couple of heavy tanks, but you know, you can still work against the bat chats if you get them going slow enough, or tracked, or even a lucky bit of RNG. But for now, though, nothing too crazy on the B Gaming's side as we head into Steps, of course. Map with the wide open firing positions, the little sunken valley in the western side.
The one thing that makes me a little bit worried here for Horsemen is that they had the last 2 picks, right? So they picked Ghost Town and Ruinberg, and which means essentially they could have chosen Steps there if they had felt confident on it, but they didn't. They didn't pick Steps. They let it go through.
What's an arty boost? Are we seeing an arty boost?
Horsemen, they're pulling out all the stops here,
They're pulling out all the stops. We've never seen an arty boost here on Steps before. Let's see if Spencer makes it up the hill.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I think that's it. He's got it, surely.
Yeah.
That's all he needs, right? That's the little boost he needed. And there you go. He's going to be able to wiggle up. He'll be able to wiggle up. Eventually. Yeah. He's up there. He's 100% up. Well.
Wow. I like that. That's good.
That's interesting, though.
That's
like,
really good.
What is the Lorraine going to be able to do from this position? That's the real question.
Well,
obviously, he's going
to be able to get shots on towards either flag.
Yeah, he's going to have an excellent firing position here.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed by what we're seeing coming out from Horsemen today.
Did none of Dessa get shot, or was he just damaged there?
No, I think he would have got shot.
Yeah, thought so.
Oh, Spencer. Boy, oh boy.
Spencer, what a brilliant position. I love it.
Well, he's going to have to come up with something big here for the Horsemen. And even if they pick this one up, then, you know, they're going to have to win the second half as well, which is the danger half, I suppose, for them, because B Gaming much better on the defense than they are on the attack here. But getting a bit ahead of ourselves, we'll have to focus in on how this one is going to go. See what happens here.
So, we've got the Horsemen setting up for a bit of a one-flag standard defense right now. All of their tanks near their spawn, and just eyes on towards that one flag. And they will have to keep an eye on Till Matil, who looks like he's getting some, or trying to get some sneaky little shots from the side there. In the meantime, B Gaming, they've got one tank early on. Utori on towards that one flag, popping their RU-251 on towards it for a bit of early pressure. Obviously, the RU-251 is that Tier 8 light tank. And in fact, RU-251 featured in our tank profile for this week, as it was actually the tank that was designed to replace the M41 Walker Bulldog around the Cold War period in West Germany. So, fun fact for everyone out there. But Utori, he's going to be doing a good little job of sitting on the cap right now and not getting spotted, ideally.
Well, as soon as he does get spotted, we all know what's going to happen. That Lorraine is going to have a perfect firing position. Well, he already does, to be fair. Just doesn't know exactly where Utori is sitting.
Well, he's going to get a shot, and that's just a blind fire shot. So, yeah, they've got no clue where Utori is sitting at the moment. And the interesting thing in terms of the attacking setup here from B Gaming is that they've still got what looks to be a couple of their tanks down the bottom near their spawn in that K8 area, which I would say means that they're setting up for a kind of flank push sort of thing, where they push with Kyung Kyung Power, V-Summer V, T4, Tomato JP, all of those four down in towards that 2 flag.
Well, the trouble is, though, if Horsemen take a fight right now and push in towards that 1 flag, which they're going to do soon because they have to, B Gaming have got a very long rotate to get back up towards that area of the map. I mean, Tomato, JP, T4, they won't be there for that fight. Looks like they are starting to rotate just a little bit early, but they have spotted out all those Horsemen players coming in there. And B Gaming, I think, wisely, just going to back off that cap there. They don't want to take that fight when they have so many players on the other end of the map. And it looks like you're right. It looks like they've drawn the bait across. Horsemen have made their way up towards the northern end, and now we're going to start to see the B Gaming players make their way in towards that 2 flag. Yep,
I like that. As B Gaming head towards that 2 flag, but they don't actually have to push onto it. They don't have to commit to it just yet because they don't have Utori, Till Matil, and Lod sort of super close. They could just head back and regroup. They've still got 5 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock here, Jordan. So very much not in a rush, I suppose. They haven't been in a rush this series. So no reason to start now, I guess. As again, actually, we do see B Gaming. So maybe they're going for another 1 flag push. It's probably just going to be the same. Just rinse and repeat this time again. Except this time they've only got T4 down at the bottom. So even if the Horsemen do decide to push the railway and go for it, then they could probably take the fight and just have T4 come up a little bit later and flank them from around the side.
Nundestu's quite far forward, though, in that bat chat. I don't think he'll be able to spot out Utori as he gets on the cap. Doesn't look like it. He's in a nice sort of passive scouting position there. Again, the cap coming out, B Gaming. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. We've seen again and again so far throughout this series. It's gone down to the wire, and this one, it feels like it's going to be the same. No one wants to be the first team to make that mistake.
Yeah, it's looking like that at the moment. As oh, there we go. There's the 113 actually firing some HE in towards the cap. So
did its job.
Yeah, did its job. It's not going to go through Utori, but it doesn't really need to. 200 damage. And quite a bit more if it had. But yeah, just keeping on getting the cap reset. I think that's all that Horsemen really need to do at the moment. And ideally, just get a few spots for their arty, because I haven't seen too many shots coming out from Spencer and the Lorraine so far. Would really love if maybe one of the bat chats from the Horsemen, even the Object 140, just went a little bit more forward, got a couple of spots out so that Spencer could do his job.
Yeah, maybe. Doesn't feel like Spencer's been doing too much work, really, in that Lorraine. But still something in the back of the mind there for B Gaming. He'll be pretty difficult to take out if this does go down to a case of the timer ticking away for B Gaming, which it could. 56 seconds left on the cap timer, but only just over 3 minutes left on the entire game. So B Gaming, they are going to have to pull something out of their hat relatively shortly, because what they've been doing so far hasn't necessarily worked out too well for them.
Yeah, with now the cap timer ticking down to even lower, we are going to be seeing T4 rotate in anticipation of the inevitable push that's going to be coming in from the Horsemen if they aren't able to get this next cap reset. And I think that is almost a given at the moment with 20 seconds left just about on the cap. Horsemen are going to be going in led by Gorilla and Archon. Faluso not far behind.
Matil takes a shot there, but that's not the one that they need to be hitting. They need to be hitting
There we
Utori,
go.
and there you go. Indeed, he does take a shot. He's fallen off the cap now as well, and this looks like it's going to be B Gaming just, again, trying to force the issue, but not really having that much luck. I mean, Horsemen have committed to this one quite a bit more than I thought they perhaps would. Archon's taking a huge amount of damage. Gorilla has already been dropped pretty low, but in the end, first kill is going to be going over to Gorilla. Tomato JP also able to pick up Hawks, and there's a trade back from the Horsemen. Only one tank going down for B Gaming so far. Horsemen have just lost all of their tanks. Well, not all of them, but a very large majority of them. Faluso, he's going to probably drop here as well.
Ooh, you might be safe.
Might be just safe, but
actually, that's not too bad. That's not too bad for the Horsemen. That's not too bad at all, because B Gaming, they need to get this cap up very, very quickly. They are going to put what looks to be 3 tanks inside it, so they do get it in 30 seconds. But, you know, it's still quite easy for the Horsemen to get some resets here.
well, maybe.
Oh,
Nandesu's going to go down here, so it's going to be some mad RNG from Spencer,
Oh, okay.
or Colin has to come up huge.
Yeah, okay.
I just don't think Horsemen have the tools to play with here that they need.
This needs to be a Spencer shot. It really does. Colin is going to be trying to spot out a few, and he does spot out a few. Spencer's going to reload, and he's going to be getting the shot. He needs to hit it.
Even if he hits the shot, I don't think he's going to get another shot in, which you need again for the reset.
No.
And, yeah, he doesn't manage to
Doesn't
land the
get
shot.
it. And just like that, the Horsemen will not be going through to our season finals
B
here
Gaming
in
will.
Sydney. B Gaming will. Congratulations, our first team today from today's playoffs that will be heading it through, and they've got to be pretty happy with that performance.
Yeah, I mean, the job's not yet done, though, for them. They're going to have to
No.
go up tonight against the winner of Team Efficiency or Karen Tiger to play off for seeding into the finals there. So definitely been a good performance so far. They've secured themselves a finals berth, but, you know, there's still a mountain ahead of them.
Yes, absolutely. Still lots to do, still lots ahead of them. And, well, for their sake, I hope that they, you know, they can get a good result after and maybe show us some of the same good top-tier tanking that we've just seen then against the Horsemen. And really, you've got to give a shout-out to the Horsemen as well, Jordan, because so far this season, you know, I think you could have put Horsemen's top players from that little best of 13 series into a highlights montage, and it would have been the same number as they've done throughout the entire season. They really showed up today, and unfortunately, it still just wasn't enough.
Yep, you're right. They definitely did show up. Let's have a look at the replays here and see how things went there on steps. But, yeah, exactly. I mean, again, this from Horsemen is something that we haven't seen before, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. No, exactly. We've never seen the Artie boost, and it potentially could have worked out well. Maybe even if Spencer had got like a double shot into B Gaming, a bit of splash damage onto two of them.
The Horsemen just lost far too much here. Like they committed so many.
And you can see what they were doing, right? So what they were doing is after they went in and kind of got a little bit demolished, they were like, oh no, quick, let's play for time. Let's play for time. It's only 2 minutes left. I'm reading it like that because they just backed out. Right, and backed out really aggressively. But obviously, that's what cost them a lot of damage. And there, in that case, you know, yeah, the Artie was able to help take out that 113, but like this is a shot that needed to hit. 3, 2, 1, 0. Didn't hit.
No. Colin got a shot across in the end, but it was too late.
Yep. There you go. Well, 7-4 and B Gaming take it out. Very well played to B Gaming and the Horsemen. I mean, at the start of this season, we were thinking that they might be at the finals, and they did come close.
They did. Close, but too far away, it seems, because
too far away.
They're not going to be joining us here in Sydney, unfortunately. But B Gaming will, and so they're going to be happy about that. Still, though, we do have another 2 best of 13s coming up here tonight. It's going to be Karen Tiger and Team Efficiency coming up next. The winner of that one will make their way through to the finals here in Sydney, but we still have another one after that. Stay tuned though. We're going to have a look and see how Karen Tiger and Team Efficiency go after this break.